Welcome to Holding Action. We are set for an awesome, fun show. We have made some changes, worked some things out, put some things in places and moved some things around, and we are all about the stuff.
That was a whole bunch of phrasing right
It
there.
was a lot of phrasing. Part of it was even on purpose. With that being said, we are still kind of fine-tuning and dialing in. Those of you who have stuck with us on our game streams know that we are doing a lot of upgrades there. Similarly here, you may experience some technical stuff, but with upgrades come growing pains. So please, you are welcome to make us aware of that. We will do our very best to adjust. And otherwise, we'll be doing everything we can to hopefully give you a good time and have you hang out and have some fun with us. So, with that being said, I believe we have a scheduling update from Miss Shacky.
Okay. I thought that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everybody. Going over our schedule. Welcome to today. So, yes, our schedule. We are doing a change to our schedule. We wanted to not, kind of punish people who are hanging out with us on Fridays.
Yeah.
So we are extending our scheduled time frame for our Saturday stream. We will be no longer be starting at noon. We're hitting it to the evening. So 5 p.m. we are going to start streaming on Saturdays.
Central Standard Time.
Yes.
So go ahead and look for our schedule down below. Click it. It'll tell you what time it is in your area.
Yes.
Whoa.
Then also know that we will be doing the culmination, the final arc of the Skyrim Good vs. Evil playthrough Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep.
And then, of course, make sure you join us on Thursday for Skadi's Throwback Thursday. Pitch them on it right now. Go!
I'll play a game and it's going to be really old, and then we're going to play music that's also kind of old, and then we're going to just hang out.
Sounds awesome.
Nailed it. All right. And then, of course, every Friday, 7 p.m., we will be here to get it in, as it were.
Crazy.
Yep. 100% on purpose. Okay. So, moving forward, let me make sure. Okay. All the stuff isn't even in the right place anymore. All right.
I know, I'm like,
Yeah, literally.
I know.
Literally,
discombobulated.
I don't know who to look at. It is a process for all of us. So again, please both be patient, be kind, and then also
Rewind.
be helpful. That being said, we are actually going to dive right in to tonight's episode of Holding Action. I mean, it still feels the same in that sense, so I'm 100% for it. So, the party is currently working their way through the Underdark, working toward the collection of the 5 Pillars of Heaven, mythical ancient objects, now somewhat revealed to be part of an endgame, a separation between 2 portals, one housing a fallen solar set to some form of destruction, and the party working towards stopping him. On the path down through, the group has come across a rather powerful Lich, and after avoiding a rather impending death, thank you all again for the boons to the party there, the group did emerge triumphant against 2 beholders and the Lich in tow. Upon exploring the entirety of the Lich's cave, dealing with the seemingly flippantly disappearing Elitis, who was later revealed to just be in the ethereal plane, the group decided to make about their exploration of the Lich's lair, only to discover that the Lich had been maintaining a collection of orcs. Creatures said to be used in a modified sense by the demon army after some modifications were made to their overall structure. These orcs seem to have similar deformities, and the group, while exploring the Lich's lair, came across a small button. The group cautiously approached, tiptoed forward, inspecting, investigating, and Skadi just came in and pushed it.
Yep.
So,
Button, we push it.
I mean, I'll take responsibility for that, for calling out, hey, is this a button?
we all play a role, you know? We all are role players in this.
I mean, the Lich didn't need to have a button.
That's
right?
true.
But it's fine. She's dead. She's turned to ash and never coming back.
Yeah, that's how this
Definitely.
works.
Good meta approach.
How those creatures work.
The tubes, the pseudo-scientific arcane imposed star metal circular cylindrical confines for these orcs seem to then drain of their obscured liquid. The cases seem to open, and we now pick up with the lot of you, if I'm not mistaken.
Walker's out in the...
Oh, that's right. He's in the study portion of the Lich's area. We now pick up with the three of you. These star metal cylinders opening directly in front of you.
Yeah.
A strange glowing crystal, large in the center of the room after having destroyed a magical object of Hera's and seemingly resistant to being picked up or carried, stands directly in front of you. Sue, what happens next?
I've got slow ready in case they're feeling froggy.
All right, is anyone else specifically staging anything?
Are you okay?
That's the lead off from Hera. Okay.
Yeah, she kills him.
Yeah.
I am going to hold an action to cast a spell of higher level against them if they decide to come attack.
Okay. Well, as you are all standing there, you see them slump onto the ground, kind of stand themselves up. And now that you're seeing it, one just has a massive arm that is about twice the size of his other one. They're all slightly deformed, but more than any other orc or even creatures that are humanoid in nature, you are observing just the deepest cuts into their muscular structure. Veins creeping to the surface, seeking oxygen. Their entire forms seem to be lean and stripped of both fat and that sort of subcutaneous layer of skin almost that allows for a sense of plushiness. They seem and look rigid despite their deformed features. The first orc from the middle tube hits the ground, stands up, and as he now kind of comes into view in the glow of this sort of purple arcane crystal, you see that there is one fang that runs down almost to the bottom of his neck. The left side of his cheek almost pulled and stretched back like the skin is deformed, and looks.
Did she hurt you?
And you see him smash his fists together, and immediately bone-like tendrils fly out of both of his forearms.
I wish I had calm emotions.
Probably about...
Like around a corner, essentially?
Yeah, I want to say a total of 90-ish feet probably to the main entry.
I mean, it was dead quiet in there before that happened, so I think you would probably hear...
Yeah, I mean, the rushing water, the exasperated sighs of anyone around Skadi would probably be somewhat audible in this particular circumstance. Yeah.
Oh god, Skadi, why?
And with the...
Press that button, though.
smashing of the fists together, the bone spears begin to protrude out through their hands, and the other two orcs seem to almost move into a flanking position near the central orc that had stood up first. They don't completely lock arms, but it almost seems as if the clutched and bowed angle of the arms from the two on the side almost flank the one in the center, and immediately you see them begin to breathe heavy.
Back out of the doorway,
and then you see the orc on the far right side punch the middle orc in the neck, and immediately all of them and begin charging forward. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Can we get a layout?
I'm looking at it here.
Hey. I mean, of where we're all standing.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So,
almost had a high initiative roll.
Skadi, by the button. Walker, elsewhere. Orc. Well, I'm not going to put you on top of him. Presumably, he would have had an intimidating presence. Boom. And the deformed orc.
Do we get anything for our held
Yeah, we held our
actions?
action for them to be aggressive.
Yeah, you'll be able to take a responsive here. I just want to make sure that we get the initiative order worked out.
Cool.
Where's Letus? You Letus burritos ass bitch?
Oh shit, prick.
He's in the mansion.
I mean, he's in the mansion, yeah.
Oh, I did not dispel it. That's right.
I think Jin is with me.
Ace is in the mansion.
I think
Or did I leave him behind?
you left him in the kitchen.
Okay, he's in the kitchen.
All right. Hera.
I got 28.
Sure you did. Skadi.
5.
Whoa.
Also awesome. Sproigins.
15.
Okay.
21.
21. Fantastic. Per usual. All right. Let me just get the... Ooh. Need you to roll off there, Walker.
Roll off.
That's a 19.
You won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Shaking up the...
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
I have to change mindsets. It's like
Turn into Skadi instead of
murders.
instead of like bad guy.
Well, I mean,
We're gonna get
you
you.
can do that too.
All right. Oh my gosh, how many is that in a row now? That's 4 months. 4 months from Ironhide, our guy.
Hide.
What is up?
Thank you.
Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, let's go, Iron. Thank you so much for that subscription. And I would remind everybody, it happened very fast, but we are going to be updating with a new sub emote. And I think we are like 3 or 4 subs away from another one already, which is pretty wild. Y'all are a bunch of weirdos, but I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, that's like a...
Which I think we were gonna actually do a poll to
Yes.
see what people want, so you get to choose.
All right.
I'm thinking Ace or Jin.
Just had to get the initiative orders.
Got that for.
We'll talk on break.
Hey, thanks for hanging out and doing chat stuff. I hope you guys are getting your quests in.
And doing the subs and the follows and the tweets and the what's the other stuff? Do all the things.
The grams.
Like running
Reddits?
outside your house just yelling.
I mean, are we endorsing that officially?
I mean,
Yes.
whatever. Also, go to your friendly local gaming store, pick up the D&D starter set, start
Boom,
playing
boom.
at home. Find a group to play Roll20.
What is this?
I think that would be cool. Hey, new initiative.
Is that for us?
Yes.
Oh, you're like locked in on the...
Oh no. Oh no. All right, there. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there.
No, that's great.
All right. So we are gonna get it started. Hera, you are up.
I can't read. Okay. Walker.
Oh wait, shit. Are you on there? You're
No.
not on there. Damn it.
That's okay.
See, it's a total S show right now.
I'm gonna call for Waka, and I am going to.
Wait, hold on. We're starting initiative stuff, or Kira and I get to do our held
Oh,
action
that's
stuff?
right. Sorry. So you
right,
you
though.
will get your hold stuff first.
All right. I got my molasses,
Yep.
and I'm gonna splurt it, and I'm gonna hit him with slow.
All right. So that's a wisdom, correct?
I believe I'm double checking, but I cast it enough to I should know that what it is.
Ooh, shit. I mean, you cast it enough where I should know what it is.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save.
But tell you what, we'll make this easy.
I got all the random ones.
Boom. And I have tokens on all of them here.
Yes. So they are
All
all
right.
slowed.
So as they begin charging forward, you immediately see their pace begin to drop as they begin pushing towards you.
Yeah.
Still seemingly progressing, still very strong. However, definitely impeded by the effects of your arcane ability. And then Skadi, what were you holding?
Cone of Cold.
Cone of Cold. Okay.
Cone that ass.
Which is con, correct?
It is con.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. So they all failed, actually.
All right, we're starting out hot.
Just killing a bunch of imprisoned ass orcs.
Hey, they
Just
started
didn't even try to talk to them. Didn't do nothing.
Well, Hara talked.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
She does like to do that whilst stabbing, though.
There we go. Okay. There's a
I'm
lot of
trying to
stabbing
learn
going on.
how to not kill people. It's difficult for an assassin.
I mean, it's a thing. Do you?
Whoa.
That's beautiful.
All right, there we go.
Alright, that's nice.
Okay.
Dice on dice on dice.
Dice on dice on dice.
Dice are good.
It's a dice stack.
They take 30 cold damage.
Okay.
Whoa.
That was a lot. That was a lot. Pretty brutes already. Okay. So as they begin to slow down and are hit with this massive cone of twisting ice shards, you see it sort of cut into their skin and create these tiny little fissures, and the skin almost peels back from the swell of their muscle. But also you're now sort of seeing, as this accentuated damage is being cast, whatever was taking place, whatever was being processed in these tubes already seems to have taken a toll, as there are now a number of signature damage points that do seem visible. Whatever this process was not meant to keep them healthy or satisfied in any kind of way. And the cone of cold sort of ripping through sort of exposes the physical frailness, despite their still very imposing strength. Let's see. So, with that being the case, that brings us to Hara.
I will call for Walker, and I'm gonna talk to them.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, okay, look, you scary dicks. All right, we just killed that Lich. We're fucking powerful. Chill your shit out.
Bonus action?
Whoa. After a cone of cold.
Right.
Take out my weapon and hold on to it.
Sure, super effective. Also, what language are you doing this in?
I was gonna just do common, but I'm
Okay.
gonna. Damn it!
Good to know.
Should have done abyssal. I don't really know abyssal.
That's fine, neither do they.
Common.
So, that brings us to
Nope, I don't have the comprehend languages.
Walker. What do you want to do? You've been called and beckoned.
I have heard this, yes?
We'll say yes, you definitely have.
Okay.
Probably also heard them screaming.
Is new music like part of the stream thing, or like we're working on that?
No, it's supposed to be going. Actually.
Okay, I was just wondering if that was one of the things or not. But
Nope.
all right.
Supposed
call
to
out.
be a thing.
So, I will begin running that way. Can I take out a weapon as like just running, or is that?
As part of your feat, you can use free action. To
Okay.
Pull
All
out.
right.
Yep.
I'm gonna run around the corner.
Okay.
Do I even get on the battle map or no?
Are you just using straight movement?
Yeah, just 35 feet.
Then no, you'd be back towards the chasm area, the open chasm.
That's my turn.
Were you that far? No, we were checking the
Do you want to use
same-
your action to dash, or?
I thought my action was pulling out my.
Nope, that's a free action.
Then sure, I'll dash.
Okay, so we'll say that you dash and you get just to the other side of the room, putting you about 20 feet away from the entryway to where you know that they're
Okay.
located.
And then once I get, so I can see in the room now.
You can see the doorway to it, but technically you'd be coming up from this side
And
here.
that's all I do.
Okay. That is Walker's turn. Now it's going to be...
I don't know if I signify. I'm pulling out my sword.
Okay, sure, perfect. The Frock Orc is going to... Frock Orc. Roll. Plow. He's gonna roll right up at Skadi like a boss, because he's a bad guy. He's a bad orc.
Just a ding dong.
Alright, that is a 22.
That hits.
Yeah, it does. And that's the... Okay. So that is 20 points of bludgeoning damage. And as he recoils the fist, it connects with you. And despite its reduced speed, you're still seeing that the impact and the follow-through from all of the rigid muscles, the strength has not been diminished. It is still in place. And as he goes back to take another swing, it seems as if now the slow effect has weighed on him too much for him to be able to take what might have been additional actions. Yeah, what's up?
Doesn't it roll at disadvantage since he's slow?
No.
No? Okay.
He just can only take one attack action.
You are correct.
Speed is halved.
No reactions,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to move very far to get there either.
That's true.
And
But they are
despite their
easier to hit.
yes, despite their again tattered and weakened forms, it seems as if they are still the one component that has been maintained throughout is a sense of hardiness and strength.
Just a Campbell's soup of orcs.
Yeah, just like you can dent it, but it's not gonna open on you.
Right.
All right. Oh, and then it's the other ones. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then this one is going to take a swing at you. That is a 30 to hit.
Uh-huh.
So I think that hits.
Mm-hmm.
These trash.
Boots.
And you take 18 points of bludgeoning damage as you're sort of watching Skadi get set upon by this slow-moving orc. The other one comes barreling around the crystal in the center of the room and using that momentum, clips you on the side. Similar to Skadi, it seems as if his arcane resistance to your spell is causing him to slow down significantly, not able to really get in there the way he might.
Like, I could see the punch coming, but
Right.
I just don't move fast enough to...
He throws that first punch fast enough where it connects clean, but that second one slows down. And you're well out of the way before it seems like he's trying to combo on you. Let's see here. That is all that he can do. That's the green one. However, as the punch lands, the sequence of additional punches seems to follow. You notice immediately and his form seems to return to a more athletic form, seemingly having shirked the effects of your spell.
Oh, okay.
Well, for the purposes of your visual acuity here, the gold one still remains affected, it would seem.
And the big one, too?
Well, he hasn't done anything yet. He hasn't had a chance to save against it, so. But that does bring us back to you, Sproigins.
Good.
Retaliation.
Yeah, I would like to harm his ass.
You can definitely do that.
Yeah.
But that is also a con save.
Correct.
Natural 20, sir.
Okay. That's fine. Let me just roll these 14d6 real quick.
I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do, though. So, like...
That is so many.
I'm not super concerned about that. That's just whatevskis.
Wow.
All sixes. All of them.
I mean,
Yeah.
probably not.
There's actually quite a few.
Like,
Yeah.
just a total shit show of ones.
I mean, that could be a thing, too.
Yeah. So this is where it gets a little dumb for me, because your boy is dumb with these numbers. So let me calculator this.
Calc it up.
Uh, 45, so half of 45.
Half of 45.
Yeah.
All right. And that was on which one? The green one, correct?
Yes. So it's 22 and a half, so...
Mr. Brown Boots.
Boom. Eesh. And at this point in time, the blast of negative energy coming out in sort of a cascade of this purple, blackish goo that kind of lingers on his form. You actually see it cling as you've had experience to you before, and the sheer weight of the ooze hanging on his form actually begins to fall and peel away some skin. And it seems as if there's maybe not much keeping him together, though his purpose still seems very determined.
and then I would like
Bonus
to...
action?
Bonus action, bardically inspire Hara to... I know what you're going for. Do what you're good at. And just cut up some orcs.
Diplomacy. So with that, recognizing that as they charge and you pull your sword out, perhaps they are not open to negotiations in common, you find yourself inspired by that very obvious observation. All right. It is going to be Letus' turn. Oh, no. Where's Letus? Letus.
Was in that one.
He's ethereal again.
Whoa.
Nope, he's not. Letus is this one for now. We're still moving stuff around.
Ghost
he
Letus.
would have been there, probably. Give or take. All right, so he is going to charge forward. Boom. Running up next to Skadi. He is going to launch a series of attacks. Brutes. Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, you know, he seems like a nice guy. All right.
All right.
So, as you see him charge forward, the spear digs directly through the orc's calf, completely planting him to the ground for a brief moment before he pulls it out in this ripping motion that kind of opens the calf way up. Throws for a horizontal strike, isn't able to connect, but on the pullback, you see him stick it directly in the side of the orc's neck. Oh. And as the orc kind of jolts for a brief moment, Letus sort of recognizes he's only got about an inch deep with the strike. And you see the orc flex, and immediately the spear is almost pushed out of his form to a certain extent. And he strikes with that moment. Now, Skadi! And as the orc is flexing and pulling back, you see him pull the spear out, cracking the orc directly on the chin, throwing his head back, creating an opening for you to launch a strike.
It has to be like it can't be a spell, right?
Not unless you're a warcaster.
I am not a warcaster. Guess I have my staff out.
Yeah, I mean, you can go for that if you want to.
Culture!
Yeah. Ping! He's not a pillar, right? We've determined it.
I don't know what damage my staff does. I'll just punch him in the...
D6. No, D8.
D6.
D8.
D6?
Oh, versatile.
No, it'd be a D10 or D12 versatile.
If you're a monk, I thought. You know what? Go ahead, roll your attack. Maybe we'll start there. See if that's a thing that we need to concern ourselves with.
Semantics. For a... It's add my dex. Is that what we're discussing right now?
Correct.
16.
16 does not hit. So as you...
Even with the -2?
16 does hit.
Yes!
Nailed it. So as the spear strike cracks him directly on the chin, your strike is actually almost overzealous, and he is going through the process of kind of recoiling back from the strike, and it is only his poor pacing from the inability to control himself moving forward that allows you to strike him. So for this, versatile for a
1d8.
staff would be a d8, yeah.
Okay, so 1d8, and since I obviously never do damage of this type...
It's going to be plus your strength.
And not my prof?
No.
Okay. 8.
8 more damage. To Goldie.
And to be clear, it's just gold because the mini has gold, but the form has no metal.
I had a very difficult time finding twistedly mutated orc minis. So, you know, that's there.
Use what you got.
Yeah. With that being said, oh, you know what? Let's take a quick stop here before the orc gets his turn to blast you guys. Soldari, thank you for the bits, as always.
Hey.
Let's take a quick time to shout out Ironhide again for that awesome subscription. 4 months with the Action Junkies. That's what's up. We got our regulars. We got Morgan, Dire Dune, J Double. I know I seen yous. Some other folks. Look at
Clancy
Fluid is up in there. King Clancy just destroying and chewing up trivia. Thank you guys for coming back and hanging out with us. We are very pumped about it.
Yeah.
This is episode 40.
Shit, it is. All right.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
All right.
Episode 40. Now, on that happy note, it is the big orc's turn.
No.
Well, you know what?
He wants to bring back Crystal.
He's just gonna, probably. He's just gonna swing at Skadi.
Okay.
And that is a 19.
Hits.
Okay. Ooh, wait. Nope. Yeah, okay. That technically is a 30, but that's fine. All right. Oh, it's 2.
I mean, I think 30 still hits.
30 Jesus, okay. 22 points of bludgeoning damage as his slightly larger form almost looms over the central orc in front of you, punches you directly in the middle of the forehead and kind of gives you that knuck ring bell effect where you're still trying to stabilize. As he goes through his sequence of follow-up strikes, you are able to easily avoid and stay out of the way of any of those. However, it seems as if as he recoils back, finishing what would have been his onslaught, he still maintains a certain sense of slowed fluidity to his form.
It's too bad.
Yeah, it is too bad. That is thing. That is thing.
That is thing.
That is thing.
So he's not slowed anymore?
No, the green one is not slowed. The rest are still slowed.
Nice.
All right.
Alright. Goofy.
And that brings us to Skadi. You are now up.
That's right. Wait, how?
It is your turn.
Oh yeah, I'm last.
Yeah.
I forgot because I went early with my held action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And Levis gave you a turn.
That's true. So that was.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the one
Seems like a
standing right in front of me, correct?
There is one standing directly in front of you. Yes.
He's all up in there.
open your business.
All up in my business,
Mm-hmm.
That bid mass, if
That
you will.
business.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
I'm going to just try and poison spray him.
Sure. Yeah, that's a Constitution save.
That is correct.
And he's got a lot of it.
I believe it.
That's only a 15.
That fails. So he's gonna take a bunch of poison damage.
Suck it, Goldie.
4d12 now, I think, for a cantrip.
It is 4d12, yeah. Or a friggin' can.
That would probably kill Gandalf.
Like, that's yeah. That probably would.
Yeah.
Where did it go? That one?
Yeah, it needs a reroll.
Y'all
Super
are out here
cocked.
trying to murder.
Yes! He can take 27 points of poison damage on a fucking cantrip. Pew, 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 pew.
All right. So as the combination of strikes followed by the orc directly reaching over him to launch his strike at you, you're obscured just enough to pop back with the abracadabra poison spray he does not see coming. And you see now it literally melts the skin off his face, and the little fat he has left on his form seems to just be sloughing off and kind of falling like melted ice cream onto the ground. It seems as if at this point it is the overall form itself is barely being held together, very much in dire straits. All right. That is, well, that would have been your action bonus.
Correct. Bonus action, I'm going to Healing Word Sproigins at level 2.
Okay, hey, thanks.
Right,
So-
because he's the only one who's taking damage, right? Yeah.
Other
Okay.
than what we were able to roll up after
So,
the Lich.
Hera, what would you like to do?
I would
Well,
like
sir.
to get up all on, let me see if this is a bonus action. I thought it was.
I'm trying to get up all up in there.
It's not. I'm gonna go on up behind the one that's attacking Sproigins.
Okay. So you begin moving forward. Bam, bam, bam. What are you going to do?
Can I get a little bit more behind him so it's like Sproigins is on one side, I'm on the other?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I will swing at him.
Okie dokie, go ahead, roll your attack. Also, normally we make it a thing. Normally it's been pretty trash, admittedly, but we're doing some other stuff. So we have some music going for the battle. Let me know if you guys are hearing that.
27.
27 will hit. 27 will hit.
Sneak.
I will say he's slowed and just attacked Sproigins. He is probably He's aware of where you're at, but you're in a pretty advantageous position, I will say.
He's susceptible for the sneak.
Oh, it was 28. My bad.
Oh.
I forgot I got that extra.
Just now, all of it, you went
I know.
past, actually. Your sword just goes right through.
Yeah, you did too well.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot
Right.
about this. Oh well.
13 for the first part.
I do +1 damage with the 4.
And it's all the same type of damage when I do sneak, right?
Correct. It is whatever the damage is of your attack.
33
33
total of
on the
piercing.
green guy. This is absolutely incredible. What? Okay, why do I keep... that's probably why I keep getting messed up. So, in very similar fashion to Skadi's surprise attack, Hara unleashes a surprise attack on this orc, and coming up from behind, you see the scimitar go in, probably edging just around the spine as you're not able to see the entirety of Hera's form, and then you see it begin to protrude out through the chest with sort of small chunks of bone and viscera kind of just barely on the tip, and then she pulls it out immediately. The orc, though, seems unfazed, but also the entirety of the body, the eyes and the rage in the face do not match the damage seemingly apparent on the physical form.
Given that,
Bonus action.
I'll use my bonus action to attack again.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
They do not feel pain.
Is more.
Oh, the baby. What is the baby?
It's more?
It's more than before.
Then you stab through him twice.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
Ooh. That's gonna be 8. I think it's just piercing, and then I'm gonna use Divine Smite on him,
Oh, smite the ass.
which is 2d8.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage then, please.
And then 9 radiant damage.
9 radiant damage. So with this one, you now see the blade disappear through the gaping wound now created in his chest. And just a brief blink of an eye later, from the different angle, cutting across the other side of the spine, you see another protrusion come through again. And then you see the tip of the sword glow with a white arcane light and then disappear through the side of his form. And like a mismatched Tetris piece, you see his upper half begin to fall back as the middle section of him falls forward, separating away, and then the arm itself, deformed, massively lopsided, clumps to the ground, sort of flopping a bit before the entirety of the body completely crumbles.
Rose.
Great job.
Sorry if I got that on you.
Mismatched Tetris piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was unplanned and I like it. We're loving it.
Do I
Okay.
have any more movement?
Yeah, you'd have 20 more, 15 more feet.
Then I will move closer to the big guy.
Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, boom, right there. That'll be your turn if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you,
Walker,
my turn.
you find yourself just 20 or so paces away from the central opening to this doorway.
Oh, I thought you said I was 90 feet away from the fight total.
Well, yeah, the room where the fight is taking place.
So I gotta go 30 feet just to get to the room?
20 more, yeah.
Alright, that's...
Okay. Where did Walker go?
He's right there.
That's right. Just shifty, stealthy ass bitch. All right. So you move 20 feet, find yourself now looking into the room with this large crystal, a very chop sueyed orc, and then 2 more seemingly engaged in deep combat with your allies. What would you like to do?
That's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you pulled your sword.
Yeah.
But you have a free action to swap it up.
You don't want to clang him, do you?
No.
Okay. You can try for your
Well, do
your
you need
clang
to move
attack.
closer?
I'm not gonna move
Alright.
closer to giant monsters when I
Full
just walk into a room with no attack.
When you dash, do you have to take your full movement?
All right.
No, but why would I get closer if that takes up my action?
So he is going to attack Skadi again, but that is only going to be a 15, which I think misses.
And I also heard this sound 6 seconds ago, and there's already a dead body. So
I mean, that's probably something to consider. With that being said, you now see this orc, the spiry bone tendrils coming out the side of his forearm, looking to drag across, but misgauging what the solid contact of a punch would be, not necessarily having a good gauge for the protrusions outside. The first attack swings wide, and as the additional attacks seem to slow down more and more, unable to catch you. And after completing what would have been his assault, seems to remain in a fluid state of combat, but not altogether super problematic. Cool! Good stuff, guys. All right. That orc is dead. Sproigins, you're up.
All right, I would like to move. I would like to step over the gross dead one.
Oh, this way?
Yeah, coming back towards Walker.
Okay.
Hey, Walker. And then I'm going to unleash Eldritch Blast at the big guy.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll your ranged spell attack.
Okay, 19 on one.
Mm-hmm.
That one hits.
It does.
Oh,
19 hits.
okay. Well, I got an natural 18 on another one, so that one hits. 17
Also hits.
Yes. 14.
Just misses.
Fuck. That's fine.
Just misses.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Because I got 4 of them blasts now.
They're rather large. They're not wearing any armor, and clearly now you can see that whatever their form would be, it's probably not as chaotically uncontrolled. It's probably not as low in any kind of cognitive understanding. And they're probably already taking some punishment, but
20 force damage at the big gross one.
that big guy, okay?
That dumb face.
And bones and splinters and these mutated shards kind of crash off with each blast, seemingly rocking his form. Not particularly impactful compared to some of the other attacks, but no less so. But still, the determination as the skin and bone becomes exposed, the muscles continue to flare, the determination almost strengthened as the attacks land.
That's it.
Will you have a bonus?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna lead it.
All right. Letus is then going to charge up in there, and he's gonna go to work with this spear. Ooh, that's not a thing.
Ain't finna do it.
Natural 2, natural 3, natural 4.
Wow.
What are the odds? Literally 5% for all of those. Every single roll, the odds are 5%. That's insane.
Didn't he just spent too much time in the ethereal plane?
It's okay.
That's probably what it is.
And then his ass was, he slept too long.
Yeah. He is going to burn an action surge, though.
Oh.
He needs to drink his ass action surge.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. Okay, that's a... And that will hit.
All right.
Nice.
Just barely. That's a natural 3.
Oh.
And that is a 22. So
All right.
He's kind of trying to get in there. He's like working on it. Good damage roll.
Should have had Prick come out here and do some stuff.
Just freaking prick him.
Yeah.
Prick him.
No, there's some prick, yeah.
Okay. So that is...
Trying to use a Swiss Army knife on a frozen steak.
So after you see this series of whirlwind attacks, almost more flare than function, get cast at this orc, the spear tip is almost bouncing off his chest with the strikes, and as he goes back to kind of clip the leg, he hits it, but it doesn't move. The form of the orc too rigid. Finally getting frustrated and deciding to take a new attack, you see, and then just goes to work on the side of his rib cage, perforating this sort of Swiss cheese experience and visual into the inside of his form.
Swiss cheese experience.
You know, it
is
is
that lost Jimi Hendrix album.
The Swiss cheese experience. Mm-hmm. All right, that's going to be his turn, though. That brings us to the large. And given the circumstances, he is going to maintain focus on Skadi. That is a 20.
That hits.
Oh, actually, no, it's still just a 20. 20 is 20. 20 is a 20. So So you'll take 21 points of bludgeoning damage as the form of the orc again reaches over the smaller one in front of him, seemingly almost crumbling the one directly in front of him under the weight of the punch, but easily able to escape the follow-up, which definitely seems to maintain after he resumes his defensive stance. No legendary saves on Nedgay. All right. Also, what's up, Belle Chavez? Thank you for the bits.
What up?
Welcome back. Long time no see. If you count a short period of time as long, thank you for coming back.
Hey, is Dyer doing in there?
Yeah, Dyer's in here too.
Mr.
J Double's hanging out. Sildari's back up in there, questing it up. Let's go, folks.
Yeah.
Our dudes.
Castiel,
Yeah.
Biggie.
Yep.
Can't you see?
We got King Clancy's still just nailing them. We gotta have all new trivia every single week.
Yeah.
Just
You gotta
so-
just silence his ass.
Yeah. Just hey,
It's
King
a-
Clancy, cast the silence command and just chill for a second.
Yeah, he's out here answering shit that I am kind of unsure about.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, bro, you gotta watch our YouTube vids.
Just
Right.
build
All
up the
available
Professor
on
fight.
demand
Yeah.
on
XP.
Holding Action's YouTube channel.
Especially things like, what's the spell that Sproigins has cast the most campaigns? Like, fuck if I know.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just
it's
like identify. It's
slow.
like, shit, you know what?
that makes sense.
Yep, that makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
You got that XP.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from this trash ball of an orc, Skadi. This disappointing piss hand of a enemy.
Okay, I'm going to start by casting Healing Word on myself at 4th level.
Cool. Seems like a thing you would do.
I've taken some damage this fight.
I mean, not a lot. Just swinging you a little bit.
I'm almost half.
I'm like never really concerned about Skadi because at any point, just like, yeah, I'm just gonna ape it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me a 150 something point buffer.
Right.
And then I would like to cast Lightning Bolt in a direct line in front of me at both of the orcs standing in a perfect line.
Whoa.
They can go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Can they though?
Oh, I mean, it's -2 because...
Is there still water on the ground?
Uh-uh.
It's completely dissipated.
I also kneeled
Not
down
com-
into the water last time.
Yeah, and we got electrocuted.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
But it's because I kneeled down into the water.
But it's mostly been absorbed back into the, like there's little small bomb of standing water, but it's not like
Okay.
little
Yeah. All right.
puddles, is what he said last time.
So dexterity save.
Both at -2.
Yep. All right. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yes! Well, they take half even if they fail.
I don't care. I'm just excited for people to roll dice. That's
Palpatine.
electricity.
Palpatine they ass.
Mm-hmm.
What you got? What you got?
That's some good ass.
27 lightning damage or half as much if they saved.
Okay. So as you see Skadi's form begin to conjure this sort of crackling negative energy before casting it in this dart aimed directly at the both of them, you see the orcs begin to start moving and diving out of the way, but the damage is done. The cast of the bolt has already pushed directly through them, and as they are both moving forward, you see a vast majority of the upper half continue to move as the ash is starting to trickle behind their forms, dissipating away before two upper torsos just kind of bounce to the ground with a pile of ash left in their wake.
2 with 1?
Yeah. The green one brought down to 1 hit point on the last attack before he died that you decided to smite his ass with.
Oh, I'm sorry, 28.
The gold one also brought down to exactly 1 hit point.
Hooray!
Yes. So there was a great deal of circumstances regarding why, I mean, they're there and they don't let you know that they're hurt, but like, if they were conscious, they'd be panicking, they'd be worried. But it seems as if for the time being, you guys have emerged victorious, nary a scratch upon you. Well, except for Skadi, who's now magically healed up.
I took a punch.
Yeah. I mean, them not being able to do any kind of additional attacks,
Hawaii's calling you.
sort of. Hawaii's calling you. That's
Just
pretty
the
sweet.
state
Did
of
you win a
Hawaii.
cruise?
Yeah. I mean, tiny bubbles.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it's a thing. All right.
Got one of them timeshares.
All right, so you guys now find yourself in the room with the decimated orcs. Their forms mostly visible, but largely destroyed based on your onslaught. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast Healing Word on myself again at 3rd level.
Okay.
Holy shit.
I'll sheathe my sword.
Fuck
Same.
these guys, right?
Walker shows
Bad
up
about
like,
that.
Yeah. What's...
They came at us.
Did they know?
Yeah, Hara was trying to talk to him and then...
are you giving him the I feared for my life speech right now? Like,
No.
I think they just probably couldn't understand me. But
I don't know what orcs...
The guy that's cut in half.
Which one?
all of them.
The one that's in front of me.
one looks cut in half, the other two look burned in
I'll
half, for the record.
Yeah, a lightning.
I'll go ahead
Yeah.
and do the Detect Undead, or Eyes of the Grave. Just to do it.
Okay, you do not register any undead pings at all.
Okay, I would like to just kind of... this is the first time I'm seeing the, like, disfigurement.
Mhm.
Can I, like, see what that's about? If it requires me to, like, walk up to the devices as well to kind of see, like, how they were hooked in or what... I just want to get kind of a sense of what's going on here. Because I didn't do the orc thing last time.
I will give anyone who wants to, in this circumstance, a medicine check.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't see anything.
Well, I guess mine's more about the apparatus, but if that's medicine...
We can make it part of that, and you can gain additional information as part of your check. then.
Okay.
Your boy is Dookie Howser over here with my 1.
Because essentially
Yeah.
it's getting back to that thing of the... What's her name? The Lich?
Yeah.
Alonzo?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
About how she was feeding off of it kind of deal. So
Oh shit, you did a roll in the other room too before you... When
Yeah.
we ended last session.
Yep.
I don't remember what that
A
was.
24 investigation check.
Okay. All right, so medicine?
Yes. We were going to get directly to that, but then we got button push happening.
I have no idea what's going on there.
Okay.
25 medicine.
25, and then what did you say you got?
A 1.
And
11.
Okay.
There's just a whole lot of growth going on with this guy.
So none of you are really able to make anything out other than it being somewhat unnatural. However, you get a little bit closer with your blade having recently dug inside them, having a sense of the viscera holding it together, at least in how it differs from other people you've brutally murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
The experience gain in that vein already now telling you that there's something a little bit more, and you begin to look in, and rather than look sort of what you've experienced when you sort of cut flesh away with your strikes, the muscles themselves are almost porous and spongy. But you actually, as you're kind of investigating it, it still feels rigid, hard. It's almost like a coral that you would kind of experience that's really tightly packed in the shape of their muscular form. And as you're kind of looking through, there's a unique kind of dark viscous liquid that doesn't appear to be consistent with blood that you're observing. That's in part of that as well. I'll have you go ahead and make an intelligence check to inspect the machine.
Which I get to do at advantage because enhance ability is still up because I didn't cast a spell.
It would be, sure.
Straight intelligence.
Straight int check. Int it up.
Ooh, 13.
13.
I mean, 13's alright. Like, let's go.
What?
Good
Actually,
13.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that would be because it's not a skill check, so I shouldn't have rolled at advantage there.
You know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
13 doesn't give you any game-breaking information here. The tube itself seems to have almost a strip where what would equate to like a belt line kind of running through the back side of the curvature of the cylinder that has these tiny small spikes that if you were to sort of lean in and against it would almost pierce you in multiple places on the back side, starting at about your hips and then running to around your spine. Similarly, there was a couple of tubes, it seemed like, or at least areas where they might have been, but they seem to almost have been ripped away, probably part of the moving out of the cylinders that the orcs did as soon as the water was drained and the front of it was open.
How long are these spikes? And
they're probably 3 inches total.
Okay.
And they appear to be sort of needle-esque. It's not just sort of a pointed 4-post spike. It is cylindrical. You can see that it is hollow and it is connected to the backside of the interior of these cylinder.
Are they fairly sturdy in there, or?
Yes, they seem extremely rigid, almost as if they're sort of framed in a lot of the star metal that is surrounding the exterior of the cage. But the needles themselves almost appear like they're more of a steel or something to that effect, meant for some different purpose.
I will put my finger on it and hold it there. Puncture it.
Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Orc Walker, let's do it.
15.
15. So as you put your finger on there, nothing really happens immediately. But after a brief moment, you see this little tiny drop of liquid begin to come out of all of the needles surrounding. And as you kind of pull it back, there's this almost purplish black dot of liquid that you see kind of now traveling through your vein before it disappears into your hand. And immediately you get this sort of palpitation, this rush that kind of jars your system. And as you are looking around, you feel your muscles almost kind of swell. And you feel yourself sort of losing your sense of cognition. You feel fine, but everything is confusing. For the next hour, your Constitution and Strength scores are increased by 1. Your Wisdom, Charisma, and Intelligence are all reduced by 3.
Main scores?
Correct.
Okay.
For 1 hour.
That's Wisdom, Intelligence, and Charisma?
Correct. And you find that you're sort of confused, not taken completely out of it, but this extremely small amount, had you ingested a larger quantity, had you had more circulate through your system, or maybe prolonged exposure, you could see how you might sort of have your mind slip away from you a bit, and certainly it has at least some capability to take control of your body.
Walker, what are you doing?
Stop it.
Hold on, let me see.
What did you do?
He put his fucking finger on the thing.
No.
No, you didn't?
No.
Yeah, nailed it.
But you did.
I wouldn't do that.
You kind of did.
No.
Well,
I was going to, and then the.
Let me see your hands.
And then the pretty colors came out.
Let me see it.
Oh my god.
Did you start with an intelligence of 6 or something?
Right. 10. So 7.
Oh, you're kind of dumb now. Yeah. Okay. All right.
As I am naturally strong.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I would
Your
think
hand a little bit.
Jones probably has an
Do lay
intelligence
on
of 7.
hands to try to get rid of poison, because I don't know.
He is not poisoned.
Ooh.
am I intelligent enough to try healing myself?
You are 1 point below average intelligence. Or no, you're 3 points below average intelligence. Walker is of average intelligence. So I would say you are more than capable of taking efforts to protect and take care of yourself.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over to Walker quick, grab his hand, and try and dispel magic on.
Oh, we got Stordio 2 up in the house as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Bong.
Achievement unlocked.
fairy magic. I love it. Okay.
That's that Fey whisper.
Yeah, that's what it is. Cool. I can dig it. So you are going through the process. You're going to attempt to heal yourself.
No, she's.
I'm dispelling them.
Dispelling
I'm holding
magic.
his hand and dispelling magic.
Okay. This is not a magical effect. This would be akin to drinking a potion almost.
Yeah, just still trying different things.
I am going to cast Remove Curse on myself.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
That's a new vein. I want to double check the wording on that. Sure.
Is there still liquid dripping out of the things?
As he pulls his thumb away, there was only a few drops to begin with. It seems as if there might be some kind of pressure mechanic at play, or there's a certain vacuum measurement system based on the pressure inward from the hose, or something to that effect. Difficult to say for sure.
I'm gonna go to one of them. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then try to like do a slice of skin off one of the gross orcs.
I'm also going to say, as you complete the spell then, at least for the immediate purposes due to the level of your exposure, you are able to shake the effects. So, you do go through the process of sort of cleansing yourself. Your mind begins to return to you. You just go back to being a normal old intelligence walker.
Some dark magics here.
It's just a huge jump. Those 3 points are... Those 3 points are critical.
Are you okay?
That's what separates language from who knows what.
Yeah.
Would make some very cool arrows.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'm going to take a slice of skin off the orc and hold it over one of the vials that, like, over the open hole of the vial.
Pokies?
And poke the vial, like, poke it through the skin into the hole of the vial to see if it's...
It's just like D&D phlebotomy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if,
So how was traffic?
I'm going to take just a regular vial and see if I can just hold it up to the
Hold
spike.
still. We're going to do one more.
We need you to...
We want to make sure we get him enough here. Just gonna... All right, I'm going to put these oddly colored caps on this. All right. The needle pierces through the skin, but at this point you're now sort of recognizing, especially right after the immediate peel off, the skin is almost kind of like a soft cray paper. It's not really rigid or representative of something that would represent like a physical form, and that exterior layer now appears to not really even possess the density you would be after for some kind of activity like this, and it seems as if the nozzles do not respond to that attempt.
Do they respond to me just putting the vial straight up onto them?
They do not.
I'm going to try to mage hand and see if...
Mage hand goes. The needles do not move.
I think these are meant to feed.
Are the orcs wearing any sort of boots or anything?
No, they all are essentially, they have very tattered cloth that appears to have either rotted or kind of wilted away in the moisture. There is some basic leg wrappings, but other than that, they have no greaves, no boots, no semblance of any kind of body armor, anything to that effect.
Does it look, are the needles sharp?
Yes.
And take my belt off and try to poke it through my belt to see if that triggers it. What? It's a...
I have basic ass leather straps.
Well,
He just needs a new notch, okay?
Yeah, someone just make me a new belt.
He's daintier than he was when he got the...
That's true.
He needs to do the old Target belt fix and cut himself a new belt hole.
Yeah, just whittle a new spot in there.
With surprising ease, the needle pierces through the belt, but it does not seem as if that gets any of the juices flowing.
Does it look like star metal?
The needles themselves appear to be some kind of chroma steel, sort of a rudimentary type of metal.
They don't seem like something
quality.
Completely foreign, though.
No, they seem maybe finely machined,
All right.
surprisingly
You
effective.
two figure this out to get you some juice for your cool arrows.
Okay.
What is do the crystal change?
Are you milking a cow? What are you doing?
Yeah,
See a dagger
it's
cutting
got
off a
nipples,
thigh.
you can milk anything. In the fight, using magics, did the crystal do anything?
Didn't seem to respond, not from what you'd been able to observe passively.
Before you guys were getting into the thing, I was getting into something in the other room, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go back to the other room.
Okay.
Talking to the bees?
No, he's
Okay.
looking for the information that we were
So as you
originally all
go
looking
back
for.
into the other room, you find the location that you originally had sort of thought you had discovered something right before the circumstances pulled you away for a brief moment.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. I don't know why that's stupid.
I was in a Lich's lair. I'm like super bad.
It's Tuesday now.
Sifting through and looking through all of the different arcane implements and forms and details and features, you see that the rummage that you had thrown off of the main altar kind of drew attention and opened up this small section of linen wrappings that included what appear to be a number of notebooks and scrolls. And as you kind of go over and look a little bit closer, all of the binded notebooks almost have this like this pale leathery texture to their exterior with heavy leather stitching sewing some of the cover portions together. As you kind of begin to continue inspecting some of them, you pull up one, and as you kind of touch it, the cover cracks in several places. Blood pours out and covers the floor in front of you before the book almost melts away and you're forced to let go of what is quickly becoming liquid. Diving through and dissecting some of the remaining pieces, you do come across one notebook that appears maybe more mundane in nature, but seems to have a different feel to it, much more weathered, much, not less kept, simply more often used. And you begin to start flipping through pages and find schematics of orcs, then schematics of different body parts, multiple versions of the same leg, crudely drawn on one page. Every now and then you see different facial features, almost like blocks, like a catalog, and one is circled, continuing to scroll through a number of runic symbols, arcane fonts surrounding, and you come to find out after a quick skim through, this is in fact Alonzifor's research journal. It turns out that after a cursor, which languages do you speak here?
Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Goblin, Infernal, Undercommon.
Okay, so as it turns out, you understand a great deal of this book. It is still written in some languages that you're not familiar with, which catches you off guard a little bit, but this appears to be an exhaustive research journal cataloging the process of trying to drain essence completely, but maintaining a host. Most of this has been met with failure. Originally, it seems as if singular entities were tried. An effort was made to expand into trying multiple entities at once to try and sustain and distribute the draining force that this process required.
Does it mention anything of the beast from the Flak Grove? Or the flying... Where am I from?
Floating Grove.
Floating Grove.
Floating Grove. Ask King Clancy. The book has a catalog of what appears to be a number of interesting and unique creatures in it. As you're flipping through, you actually see one set of pages, almost kind of near the middle, lying it flat. The image spans both sides of both pages. In the middle, a bird-like skull with these black, feathery wings and this sort of air of pestilence raining down, crudely drawn bones underneath. Floating Grove quickly scribbled in underneath it, written in abyssal. You flip the next page, and there almost appears to be what looks like a dog. But then next to it is kind of a small symbol of a castle that's probably up to the dog's knee. Putting the pieces together, you kind of get a sense of what this Lich might have been thinking, and then on the next page, too soon we'll continue research. As you continue to move forward, it seems as if this is where she had settled on the orcs. There's a cataloging of how Blood Falls is currently crawling with powerful creatures that are too dim-witted, too unaware of the arcane to resist my unique powers. I will try to collect some of these hardy individuals for my next tests.
Does it mention anything about her ability not to leave?
It does not.
Okay. And then one more thing. anything about the Ancient One, Udak Bal, any of the people that we have faced throughout our
Make
adventure.
an investigation check at advantage for a quick flip through.
Wow. Double one.
Both?
Oh my god, I'm ripping pages out! Yeah. Double ones.
As you do, you slip on
'cause
the
I'm rolling like
blood
this.
created from the first notebook that you grabbed out, immediately smearing and ripping a couple pages out. One turns and flutters, landing in the blood puddle. The notebook goes flying across the room as you kind of catch your balance. You're able to go pick it up, but it seems as if one page has almost been smudged beyond recognition right as you were about to look at it. And another page just ended up missing until you find it now almost completely stained red in this notebook blood.
Jones, what was that about not wasting the good rolls?
It's not a thing. It's just dice.
Yeah, dice juju's a thing.
It's because I didn't roll
not
them
a
the right
thing.
way.
Yeah, you have to do the
Each-
flippity.
Oh, that's also dice juju.
Yeah, obviously.
There's one game that will make you extremely superstitious. D&D.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah. Hallways, dice jails.
So what do you guys want to do?
I'll just go back to the room.
All right. Do you want to help me dispel this crystal?
The room with them, not the mansion.
Sure.
All right. You want to do it at? Let's just try it at our regular power.
Are y'all dispelling it? Can I? Do you want me to help?
You can do that.
Can
No,
you do that?
no. Yes.
Yeah.
Do all the things.
Aw,
Yeah.
I wish I could help.
Don't hit it with anything.
Okay.
Everybody, don't.
I'll stand over here
Okay.
and I'll hold this sword in case something comes to attack you. I won't talk to it. I'll just hit it.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
What?
You're gonna do really good at this. Inspiration.
Thank you. Can I add a D6 to dispel magic rolls?
I don't know.
It is
think
not a
it's
skill check or a saving throw.
I've
so
never
it's
used
no.
dispel magic before, so
All right.
the Walker just gave that to you.
Yeah. So now you
Thank
also
you.
are inspired, I guess. That's the thing.
Like weirdly feels like a crown just got like placed on my head and kind of like snuggled in a
but
little
it's
bit.
also on Walker's head.
Yeah.
So like King Bros.
Okay, I'm going to cast Bigby's hand first. And I'm going to have it like the interposing hand.
Okay.
And I want us all to stand behind Bigby and do Dispel Magic.
At
Okay.
a normal level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm casting it at fourth because I've used all my third.
Well, whatever.
What's a normal level?
Third.
Okay.
Yeah, like a
you guys are
normal power.
Do you have Dispel Magic now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like normal power.
I'm a cleric. I can just put it in for the day.
I will
And I
also
did today, so
I will also join you in doing a little more
because I
powerful.
figured going through a Lich's lair might require some dispel magic.
All right, you doing it at third?
Is that what you want me to do it at?
Do it at whatever you want to do it at, sir.
They're both doing it at fourth.
Yeah, we're coming in hot.
Yeah. Are you part of the cool kids or not, though?
I will come in at fourth.
Okay.
All right, so we're all standing behind Bigby.
All right. Everyone, please make a spellcasting check. So a D20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
I would like to pretend like I am shooting an arrow. Spellcasting modifier.
ahead and
So would that be your just like what your attack bonus is?
No, for you, I believe
So
it's
wisdom.
wisdom. Yep.
20. Oh, not attack. Just add my wisdom, right?
What?
Just wait.
So I don't.
For you, this would
What
be a
would-
wisdom check.
What do I add?
Your wisdom.
But I'm
Just
proficient,
add that.
right? In magics.
You are you know how to use magics, correct? You do not add your proficiency to
Well, then
a.
it's just a 19.
Okay.
Just a night. Okay, I'm just a 15.
All right.
Let's not even bother with me. 14.
14.
That's a lot.
There's two rolls that are higher of the
Zero.
same spell.
Because I can't
No,
cast
it's not. It's not based on one person making it here.
That's a lot of powerful.
You boys never
Ghostbuster
used dispel magic.
streams
Yeah, that's
over
some
here.
like Terry magics. That's.
Where's Terry?
There is
Powerful
no
magics.
specifically raw outline that I am aware of that discusses how to use 3 dispel magics
No.
at one time. That being said, the form of Skadi casts the white arcane light that begins to wrap around the form of this crystal. as it's being flexed, and the crystal itself is almost exuding this purple arcane energy, pushing off Skadi's magic. Sproigins finishes casting Bigby's hand, and you hear the lute ring out as another tendril of white arcane energy begins to surround and crush down on the crystal itself as the crystal is continuing to fight back on it. It seems as if there's almost a tug of war taking place, and as Walker kind of just approaches and watches for a sec. An invisible spectral spell launches forward from the somatic gesture as Walker's arrow begins to circulate around in this arcane dance of slightly off-colored whites and yellows. And as there's a last gasping push of this massive purple energy, the white arcane cloud collapses around the crystal, dissipates out to a small rolling fog, disappearing into nothingness, and the glow from within is gone.
You guys are so powerful!
Maybe we just kill all of them.
What?
Maybe the magic was keeping them alive, and now they're just dead.
Anything going on in the room? Any whizzing or wuzzing?
No gear churning, no wheel spinning, no
I will go inspect.
unusual anything, it seems.
I also would like to inspect it.
All right, I'll move Bigby's hand up so you guys can walk behind it.
I just
I'll walk around.
I was gonna. Yeah.
And
All right, so I'm just standing here moving Bigby's hand.
Just cautiously peeking around the middle finger.
Mm.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
check out the rock.
What are you looking for specifically?
Well, I didn't get to see it, but they just said what was in there, so I want to see if what's in there is still in there.
Okay. Yeah. Make an investigation check.
When you cast another spell, you drop, right?
If it's a concentration spell.
Yeah. Okay. So then it's just regular.
Well,
Walker, I believe in you.
Dispel magic isn't a concentration spell though, so.
Oh, so it's just concentrations?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
You can only cast one concentration spell at a time.
Okay, and it's investigation.
Correct.
23.
23. You're not able to discern a lot, mostly because you feel like you get a good look at it, and there's probably not a lot to discern. You're kind of looking through, poking at it, kind of looking around as you sort of get a little bit more comfortable with it. You become a little bit more brazen and kind of investigating some of the nooks and crannies and where these different crystal cascades form out of each other, and it is pretty. It is unique, but there doesn't seem to be anything unique about it anymore beyond its overall appearance and likely how old it probably is, but that's about it.
I'd like to... There's a severed orc arm, right? From the lightning propel.
Yep.
While they're...
The lightning propel.
Yeah, you could find you some orc parts if that's what you're after.
While they're doing their thing, I want to use a orc arm to jab into one of the spikes and just like stick it on there and use that to get the vials on the other stuff.
Okay. So as you are going through the process of pushing the orc's arm onto it, you're actually having some difficulty. The form of the orc is still extremely rigid, perhaps even more so now, as there is no longer any cooperation or looseness of muscles. They've now tightened. Not in a rigor mortis sense, but it's almost like holding a mannequin arm. And you're kind of pushing it on, and there's almost more crunch than squish as you're kind of trying to force it into there. You are able to kind of get a few drops going, but it doesn't seem as if it's flowing or pushing out.
Even if I try to do it this end, stick it on?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll identify the crystal to see if it still gives me a abjuration reading.
Doesn't give a reading of any kind now, unfortunately.
All right.
What were you guys so interested in this rock for?
It looked like a powerful rock with that creepy, powerful thing.
Yeah, we took the rocks.
Well, it's not anymore.
But it's still a big-ass cool crystal, though, right?
It is. It is a very cool crystal.
Can you pick it up now? Someone might...
It is still very heavy for sure. Go ahead and make a strength check.
I'll try and help her.
Okay, go ahead and take it at advantage.
I am gonna open the book and see if I can find anything about this crystal in the book.
Okay. Go ahead and make another investigation check.
17.
17.
Should have juiced yourself up first.
Yeah.
Did you give me the inspiration? Or no? Or you just...
I mean, I said I believed in you. Like, I would have liked to inspire you with
We'll
the
say
D12, yeah.
Mechanically, from the perspective of it not being executed, what is your roll?
20.
20. So as you are continuing to flip through, it seems as if the book you were originally searching did not contain any information on the crystal itself. But kind of looking around and poking through, you now are looking at some of the scrolls just to get a gauge for it. And it seems as if one of the scrolls has a number of runic symbols on it. The runic symbols you don't recognize, but at the bottom of the scroll itself, near the center with a little bit of a filigree trim on the bottom edge of the scroll, is what appears to be a very obvious and overt sort of crystalline purple sort of structure looking design that very much resembles what you found in the Lich's lair.
Hey, Sproigins, you can, like, know a ton of languages, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of this? And I'll hand them everything.
All right.
Okay.
I'll cast comprehend languages and check it out.
I found this in the other room, and I don't know how it got all covered in blood, and some of the pages, I don't even know what she was doing, but
Yeah, she's doing all types of just
but
gross, crazy stuff.
This looks like that, though.
Yeah.
But I can't read it.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Thanks. I feel inspired.
So as you're looking through the scroll itself, this appears to be a spell scroll.
Oh.
It is unique,
Nice job.
though. You recognize the spell itself, but there are additional components that you wouldn't normally expect to be part of this particular type of spell. This, too, seems to be from the school of abjuration. As you're kind of focusing and looking into it, it appears to be a scroll of imprisonment to cast the imprisonment spell. But there are a number of additional runes on the page that, as they are revealed, seem to suggest that there is a more ancient and far-reaching prospect, that this spell is meant to be amplified and used for a purpose other than simply detaining.
All right. I'll relay that. Does it look like the spell scrolls that we've used in the past that you can use it from the scroll?
Yeah.
All right.
As long as you can read the words and successfully succeed on harnessing the arcane energy. You're not certain you could do it.
Okay.
I'll do the Eyes of the Undead or whatever that thing is. Just
Eyes of the Grave?
Yeah, and just cause.
Okay.
See if there's anything in there.
There does not appear to be now. No.
I want to walk around and see if I can find a teleportation circle.
Okay, you can go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can I cast light at the base just to see if it'll illuminate it to be more transparent?
Sure. Yeah, you cast light at the base of it, able to control and move it around just a touch. It seems as if all of the prisms continue to dance and reflect light, ranging from sort of a tealish blue to a much darker purple, and the light moves around, kind of creating this odd, eerie, haunting disco effect inside the lair. But it appears as you probably would expect.
I start dancing.
To no music and this odd inspection-based.
I just start singing.
Works for me. What else would you guys like to get into?
I have 21 on my investigation for a teleportation circle.
So you begin moving around, and it appears as if past the edge of this room, the slight offshoot that almost looked like it would have been a nook, in fact, opens into this tiny, small hallway that's probably about 5 or 6 feet long. There's no light, but you're able to discern with your dark vision that it ends after about 5 or 6 feet and you don't see a room beyond. You kind of push yourself a little bit closer to the edge. You see no room, no floor, no ceiling. There's a cliff to nothingness, it would seem.
Okay, guys, it's a hallway with the
What?
blackness.
Head over there.
Okay. You also are able to discern that there is a small hallway, 5 or 6 feet, completely devoid of any shelving or accessories, no accoutrement for you to lay eyes on. The hallway itself kind of has a slightly curved architecture to it, but not machined or refined in any way. It was purposefully built, but after about 5 or 6 feet, the edge of the hallways stop. The walkway of the hall extends probably another 8 or so inches, and then it stops.
Just
Nothing that you're able to
is
see
it just
around.
blackness?
Yeah. You're not able to see anything in any direction
I'm gonna just
beyond
light
the
a torch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as soon as it hits the end of the hallway, disappears.
Hey, Sproigins!
Yeah.
What was the spell on the stone thing here? What'd you say that was?
Abjuration.
No, like the other part of it. The other part of it!
I don't. I'll walk out. What do you mean?
Well, like what was actually like the paper and
Oh, it's an imprisonment.
imprisonment.
Yes.
But nothing came out when we dispelled it.
I think we killed what was imprisoned.
I mean,
Or
maybe.
what it would have activated
That might have
if
been
you knew
the
how, and then it. I'm not there.
That might have
still
been
looking
the-
at the empty
that-
hallway.
the crystal might have boosted a spell, maybe.
Okay. Does anyone care if I walk up and touch it and do something?
No, touch the crystal.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up, touch the crystal, and then cast Remove Curse at 5th level.
Okay. So as you begin pushing the arcane energy directly into the crystalline form, you see these little arcing, scattering lights, these blue motes, begin to permeate and infect the entirety of the crystal as Walker is focusing on his spell, taking hold. The entirety of the structure itself becomes illuminated with these motes of light, kind of almost searching for negative energy to absorb. And as they're continuing to dance around within the prisms, the light completely filling the room, you actually hear it.
Oh, shit. I'm going to start to back up
And you
a
see
little.
massive cracks begin to form.
You said you didn't mind!
Do you continue to...
I mean, it's 6 seconds, so yeah.
So as the whirring of light within continues to build up, almost with this amplified exponential ramping of arcane energy, the cracks beginning to form, Walker holding position and bearing down on one of his more powerful spells, focusing. You see the crystal itself, now tiny flakes of some of the angular edges beginning to drop out due to gravity and the inability to maintain their position before you see the entire crystal shatter, spreading across the floor, now probably in a couple hundred pieces.
Holy
I'm gonna go
shit.
scoop some up.
What happened?
Walker broke the crystal with his fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just cracking and.
Yeah.
I,
Holy
Cool.
shit, man.
yeah, I cast Finger Rock.
That's not even a
Nice.
fucking spell.
I mean, there's no bones. Finger rock could be.
I don't think there's a wizard out here
Calling it
ab-
finger
yeah,
rock.
talking about look
That's
at
that
me.
magic you learn in the tavern, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Is there anything like at the base of it? Is it like connected to the ground, or is it just like there?
So as you kind of sift through and move some of the crystal out of the way, it appears as if it was almost protruding through the stones that you're now seeing that sort of made up the cavernous type of floor were almost laid around it.
Does it look familiar or similar at all now to the stones that were outside that were like... Remember the ones that were shiny?
No, these are different for sure.
This isn't what he was looking for, right?
But it seems as if
the moats are gone?
Yeah. It seems as if you continued to sort of rip away the floor and chisel down and pickaxe through, you'd probably find the origin source of where this crystal started its growth process, whatever sort of minerals were at play in allowing it to form, but it seems the main structure here was almost built around it.
So what did you do to destroy that?
Finger rock.
That's not a... Is that really a spell?
Super believable.
Yeah.
He thinks he legitimately just cast a spell called Finger Rock. Okay.
Well, what do you call it?
Have I ever seen that spell before?
What do you
He just cast it on himself.
And before it was Save Walker spell finger.
I mean, you did have to save your finger.
The Finger Walker spell.
The Save Walker finger spell. Could have been a much worse spell name.
I mean, it's not like everyone uses the same dictionary and stuff.
That is true.
Okay, there's a room. Oh, shit. Okay, there's a room with blackness in it over here. We destroyed a crystal that we don't know what it does, but I'm happy that we did it.
I could dive into it.
No.
Dive into what?
The floor crystal.
Why?
I don't. There's clearly something about it.
Well, pack some of it up.
Yeah. Okay. Can you make cool arrows out of the shards for him?
You know what? You know what? I don't need it.
Why?
Because I don't want to waste any more time.
Yes, sir, Walker. I'm
All right.
gonna start walking back towards, I'm trying to think of the layout of the Lich's lair. Towards the mansion, towards the bees.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna start walking to.
Well, you are able to accomplish that. Everyone else
I'm gonna
like to do
scoop a bunch of these little shards
that? Okay.
into
sure.
my bag.
I'll cast Detect Magic and walk back to the dark area.
Okay.
And then if I don't sense anything on the way there or there, I'll follow.
It seems as if anything that would be magic that continues to remain is obscured, unable to be immediately highlighted, and you've already found most of what was probably of substantial value as far as artifacts and items are concerned here. Nothing immediately hits your register.
Is there any other exit? Or just literally any exit outside of this hallway with the blackness?
There is the pile of bones room, which had probably a number of entry points for where the undead began.
That was where before we entered in.
Correct. Where the undead began to approach you during the Lich fight. There is a hallway that seems to lead to nothingness, and there's the way from which you came.
Right.
From whence it came.
What would you guys like to do?
I'm following Skadi.
Okay.
I'm gonna we're passing the mansion, right, to get to the bees?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna not knock on the door. Open the door.
Okay.
Hey, Is!
Yeah.
You wanna come help Mom real quick?
Just one.
Are you dropping? Are you making a fallout?
Just a little second. And then you see him come out of the dining room. Okay.
What were you doing in there?
Just it's a good boy thing. So like, what are we doing?
Is?
Yeah.
What'd you do in the dining room?
I ate some chicken.
And then?
I took a nap.
And then? You sounded like you were making a fallout.
Well, you don't make a fallout. You could have a fallout.
Did you have a fallout in the dining room?
But It sort of had me. You know, so.
Regnons, can you handle that?
Immediately, there's already 2 Regnons seemingly coming around the corner, just tiny handfuls of the Goodman's nut roll.
Do you do this often? Regnons knew what to do.
Oh yeah, they always do that.
Okay. What did Mom tell you about fallouts?
Not to do it on you.
I did tell you that.
That's what you said.
Yep. What else? Where did I tell you to do fallouts?
In the mansion.
Where in the mansion? I was more specific than that.
He says Sproigins the mansion. I could do it in Sproigins' room.
No. Okay. No. In the fire?
I cannot just have it in the fire.
Okay, you know the bucket that Mom falls out in?
Okay, yeah.
Is can go in there too.
But it's too small. I have to do this, you know.
Okay, I'll ask Sproigins to get you a bucket that's like is-sized, okay?
It's a bucket.
Yeah.
Like a helmet?
No, for your fallout.
Can I also have a helmet? Like 1 bucket for a fallout, and 1 bucket for a mom fallout, and then 1 bucket for like a is helmet.
I'll see if I can find one.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, I'll go back up to the dining room then.
No, remember you were gonna come help Mom?
Oh yeah, can I just do just one thing? Just real quick?
Is it fallout? Why don't we not do that in the dining room? Like Mom just said.
I mean, but the white elf, they just come and they...
There's like a cliff over here that you can fall out, and then like...
Yeah, okay.
You want to fall out over the cliff instead?
That'll do some damage. And you see him begin kind of lumbering forward and...
Oh, there's just shambling undead down there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine that they can get...
Yeah.
Okay. Is he done falling out now?
Oh, you're escorting him through his fallout?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to come with me.
You know what? Let's just RP this whole thing. Okay. So we'll say then Is finally does join you after tending to his needs and kicks the pant leg loose to get it taken care of.
All right. Are you coming?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna head over to the bees.
Okay.
Okay, you're at the bees where you originally saw them. Most of the tiny little crooks into the wall now seem empty. They don't seem to maintain the same creatures that were originally in there.
What do they seem to maintain? Nothing?
No, they're just empty.
Okay, I'm still gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And be like, are there any bees in here?
Are there bees around? Tell me.
Do they bees in the trap?
Yeah.
I forgot about that song.
As you are kind of poking your head in and trying to figure out where they might be hiding, you don't sense any sort of response until you hear a bzzz. And you kind of look up and there are these almost round ovular black eyes and these kind of large pincers with this fat sort of spindly body.
What do you want?
Is it a bee?
It looks bee-esque. You never got a full look at.
I mean, you described kind of something that was a little more
Papa
arachnid.
Pixies.
They were,
like,
they were in something that was honeycomb-like, but
Okay.
you never actually saw any of them fully exposed.
That's fine. That's fine. Hi. What's this? What's this? What you got going on here?
What kind of shit thing is that to say to somebody?
I mean, I'm just curious. I've never seen this before.
Going on here?
Well, I mean, like,
The antenna's kind of just up and down your entire form.
so, like, I was an Iceborn, and then, like, I bonded with Is here, and so now I'm red. So that's what I got going on here. What's this?
What? This is stupid.
Okay,
You're stupid.
probably. But
Dumb?
What do you want?
I'm curious. Hi, my name is Skadi.
That's fantastic.
What is your name?
Well,
Okay. What are you doing living here? Like, why is this where you live? Did you know the lady that used to reside next door?
Yes.
Okay. Was she, like, nice to you?
No.
What'd she do to you?
Nothing.
Oh, so she just she wasn't mean either. She just existed next door to you.
Exactly.
Okay, well, she's dead now. So
he kind of begins now this small back pedal up into the honeycomb slowly.
Well, I'm talking to you though. I just have a couple more questions.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Get the fuck out here! I'm being nice!
Yeah.
While she was talking,
Where are the bees?
Can I cast comprehend language and then do I understand anything?
I will say you do, yeah.
Yes.
You said disadvantage?
That's correct.
16.
16.
Nice.
So you see him stop.
Mm-hmm.
You can have one more. I'm listening.
Is there anything I can do to help you and your friends?
You can go away. I'm just trying to mind our own beeswax.
Funny.
Roll with disadvantage for the entire
Yeah.
That's a dad joke natural 20 right there. That's a natural 20 dad joke.
What do you guys eat?
Nice, continuing to creep back
We've
up.
got food.
I'm gonna cast Druid. I got flour.
Disappears away up into.
Bye, Blue.
Oh.
Alright, sorry, buddies. I thought that was gonna be something.
They would eat it? Or...
No, we don't eat it. They were fine. I thought maybe we could get to eat them or kill them or I don't know, but they just exist. They just are. And remember, we're good guys. So if
Yeah, okay.
Is this
So we just get to kill things and
No.
get through a fallout and
Exactly.
Do whatever. So we just okay.
No, that's what bad guys do.
Right. What?
I mean, are you sure?
Everyone gets to fall out, but we don't just get to kill things. I thought maybe you would get to eat it if it was a bad thing because it was with the Lich, but it's not. Or the
you
old
just
lady.
get to kill things.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of think you just get to kill things. It sort of seems that way, so.
Okay.
Only when they attack you first.
Yeah, do you want to see if you like these, these orcs?
Nope.
What?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Nope.
They're full of that icky gunk.
Are we there?
Yeah.
Oh.
You said it makes
Okay, don't eat the orcs. Let's go look at the hallway with the blackness.
Okay, but
that might
first,
be our way out.
in this room full of honeycomb-looking things,
Mm-hmm.
is it just a wall of honeycomb, or is there
No,
pathway
they're
stuff,
they're
or,
scattered. Yeah, they're scattered throughout sort of the cave wall type structure, and this is where some of those early bookshelves were with sort of more mundane looking type books, like regular library bound type.
I'd like to look around to see if there is anything of note, I guess, but also keeping an eye out for things that might help locate the Pillar of Time and Viren Grable.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor?
And my magic thing is
Can
still
you
up.
try to locate
Sure.
a diamond? See if there's a diamond in here?
I am going to say that as part of your original investigation of the area, and you did not, we didn't necessarily suggest that your first investigation roll covered the entirety of the Lich's Lair, but I will say go ahead and make an investigation check at disadvantage. And you are doing what?
I'm gonna try and locate a diamond.
Hey, you still have a D12.
Within 1,000 feet?
It's 10 minutes. Oh, it's been longer
I
than
used
10
it.
minutes. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Would have been longer than 10 minutes anyways.
Nothing jumps out.
Nope.
Damn it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 22.
22. So as you're continuing to sort of poke around, nothing new or particularly interesting beyond some of the items you've already found and some of the things you've already glanced at or were able to catch on your way in, or things that sort of stood out in the corner of your eye that you've since gone back to. Nothing new really seems fresh, and you're pretty convinced anything that would be gotten here, you've kind of gotten a good handle on.
Are any of the books just basic storybooks?
I mean, there's a number of books, but they all seem either to be geared towards practical information. There's a number of maps for some of the surrounding areas of Esterlin and things like that. That would be rather common.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, there's some topside information about different kinds of ants and how birds migrate and mate and a number of those kinds of things. There seems to be a very odd collection, but it seems mostly centered around creatures, and it seems mostly clinical in nature.
And I'm assuming that my investigation didn't show me any of the books being basilisk, firelisk in nature either.
Correct. Anything of note? You
I
feel
want to grab anything that looks mappish
Okay, sure.
and just put it all in there.
All right. Anybody else doing anything? What are we doing?
I'm gonna go look at the.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna head. I'm gonna head and look at the hallway.
It's like a fine hallway, and then it's just complete blackness.
Does anybody have like lights that can like?
I mean, you threw a torch in there, and the torch disappeared.
Why don't we dispel that?
Yeah, we can try.
Do you see anything?
I mean, okay. So, like, there's a hall.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you, bud.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I want to use the eye real quick.
Okay.
Down there.
All of a sudden, it seems as if the blackness fades and dissipates back. And as it does, it continues to reveal slightly more hallway before this almost dancing red. And beyond that, you can almost make out what appears to be kind of this silhouetted form of a, almost like carved or ornate pillar that you can see almost the shadowy silhouette of at the very extended range of wherever this location is with the range of the gem. But it seems as if there's the glow of dancing heat, some kind of ornate structures. But that's all you're really able to make out within this distance, as whatever room it is a part of seems to open up, and you're only given the window of this immediate hallway.
So like I can see into the hallway and it opens up into some crazy room with some wild looking pillar.
Shit, okay.
And there's stuff in there.
Well, alright, well, that's our room.
So I guess this
go to
is
the
just
room.
a darkness spell?
I mean, you cast that, don't you? You have that?
Yeah.
Does that seem like that when you do it?
Are you proficient in Arcana?
Only Walker
No, but I
is.
cast darkness as
No, he's not anymore.
As
Oh,
a,
that's right.
As a
Okay.
racial thing.
I'm going to say no.
All of us use magic.
Ah.
None
It
of us know
appears
magic.
to be magical darkness of some kind, but you're not able to really discern much more than that.
Alright, well, shit. Alright.
Odds with the pillars on the other side of this.
What's the rod doesn't get us a direction.
No, it does. Well, I mean,
Okay.
if we're close enough, I'll pull out Telcher's rod,
Okay.
point
It
it down the hallway.
still appears to have a dim glow, maybe 3/4 of an inch of the tip illuminated.
We haven't really seen anything. Like she said she was like all about research.
Should I mean, I could.
Yeah, but
That's
Walker
probably
found a
go-
ton of stuff.
Oh,
but the research
ethereal.
has nothing
I
to do
could
with
go
anything
ethereal
weird.
and
What
sit
I
in
what I
there for a
mean
few
to say is
seconds.
this is probably her workshop. Her like main lab beyond there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
why
let's
is
go
it
fuck that up.
Why is it in this state then?
Like we should go down there. I'm just saying that's.
We could probably get Prick to just walk through it, and if he doesn't make it,
Then we killed another
NPC?
thing.
what the fuck is an NPC?
Oh, like a little guy that like wanders around with us.
What?
I've nicknamed them that.
Oh.
They're like not part of the crew.
Oh, not permanent creatures.
Can you still see through the thing?
Yeah.
Not people.
Why don't you mage hand and watch his hand go down the hallway and see what happens?
Yeah.
Okay, I could probably also go through and check for traps too with it.
No,
go ahead.
I'm more.
All right, so I'll just send
We're
Mage
gonna check
Hand
for traps
through the
anyways.
darkness.
Okay. As you see your mage hand disappear beyond the black void, you watch as it depresses in past where this seemingly arcane darkness barrier is. His hand goes through and is almost sort of peeled away into non-existence as it pushes through. As soon as it breaks the plane, it seems to disappear completely.
What did it do? Did it keep going?
And it kind of just like pressed through it, and then it was just
shit! Like it dispelled my hand. Is that what your darkness does?
No, it's just you look. I don't know magic stuff all that well.
All right. You know what? I don't need to look. Let's just try to dispel this thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Sword out. Eye up.
Is this another group dispel? Or
Yep,
we just-
4th level.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
Teamwork make the dream work.
Yeah. I'm gonna do. Yeah. I'm gonna do.
everyone, go ahead and roll your spell casting modifier rolls here.
Are you gonna do it too, Walker?
Sure.
It's like literally the sure that you and I talked about outside.
Do you want me to fucking cast it? Sure, I'll cast it. Okay. Do you want eggs for breakfast or not?
Actually...
What level are you casting?
4th.
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 All right, we got this.
17.
17.
Oh, gross. Okay. 11.
Natural 1.
Ooh.
Which makes sense because I was going to pretend to cast it.
Yeah, all right, sure, I guess. Here's a hot dog. So as you focus your arcane energies, it seems like the combined force begins to coalesce, and a certain cone of light almost pierces this veil of darkness and begins expanding as it dissipates and moves backwards. And as it continues to move forward, your arcane energies, all intertwined, seem to collapse in a moment. And almost like a closing pair of snips, the blackness severs the arcane connection you're all pushing in. The magic seemingly returning back to your form with whatever is left of the expended spell. The black void seemingly consuming whatever was initially pushed toward it, but the darkness remains.
Did it?
Light.
Light.
Because that's how it works.
Yes. As you fastball special the light, are you pushing it to the edge, directly through?
Just to where the darkness is.
Okay. So as it gets close, you are seeing it almost have this kind of void of sheen. The perfect shade moving forward with your light as it still illuminates the entirety of the walls around it, but no light penetrating this individual dark barrier once you reach the end of this hallway.
I kind of want to just go.
Yeah.
Maybe there's another switch.
I mean, he can ethereal this.
Oh. Yeah.
But if you and me won't be able to talk, so if I'm just gone a really short time or a really long time, you guys should just come either way.
Yes. I mean, I could use eye and dimension door as long as I can see it and just end up on the other side.
Okay, if I'm capable of going through and coming back, I will. Let's have a time.
Why don't you just try to say something
Just take a step down the hallway.
and then just say, "Hey, I made it. It's me, Walker."
When I get to the blackness.
Like when you get past it.
Okay.
What is it? You're trying to go in the blackness, or are you trying to go past it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's something down there.
Right. That's what we're. Yeah.
Who's going to be the Stargate guinea pig?
Okay, for glory, I'm not gonna fly, but I'm just gonna have him out just in case.
Just like Transformer in a hallway kind of thing, just side shuffling outward? Okay.
And as I get closer, I'm gonna make sure I have ethereal in my mind ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the booty swishing going.
Yeah, he's got like that turtle shuffle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have ethereal haste ready to go.
He's got like the Skyrim cast ready, just both cooked up, ready.
Just as he's toe jamming Earl Hula Girl over here.
All right, so
Hawaii.
as you begin to kind of move forward, you see the wing disappear into the blackness. Are you casting ethereal before or after?
I know, I'm waiting. So, if there's something I can see coming at me or all of a sudden I feel pain, I'm going to try to cast it.
You just want to immediately...
Well, I mean, as best I can.
Gotcha. Okay, so as you push through, you see Walker's form disappear into the void.
It is not instantaneous.
Yes. And as he disappears into the void, need you to hang out, and that's where we're going to take our first break.
All right, thanks for sticking around.
All right.
While we just fuck around in this lair.
Man.
Yeah, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Roll your fucking dice.
Which one?
Oh, God.
What's the doo-doo?
23. Natural 19.
And we'll find out how that turns out as soon as we come
Good.
back.
Good.
Thank you guys for hanging out, for being here with us, for spending time. We got Sildari and Bell throwing the bits. We got Ironhide on the resub tips. Clancy and Jay Double rocking it out, doing the dang, I think is what we're going to refer to it as.
Dang,
and then
dang.
Dire Dune showing the love as he always does, spreading the good love of the stream. We are going to be right back. I'm sure I missed folks. I'm sure you guys are all having fun and enjoying yourselves. Please continue to do that, and we will see you in just a moment.
Yay! Yeah, Constitution.
Welcome back to Holding Action. We are set to get into something very dark.
Because we're walking this darkness.
Damn.
Can that be the next? Can that be the next emote? Is that
minus
sulky face?
D6 inspiration.
If you can crop that out properly, you are welcome to do that. Welcome back. The group has now seemingly finished exploring the hidden treasures, mysteries, and dangers of the Lich's lair, s1ep40, the formerly friendly, then formerly dangerous, now currently seemingly deceased Lich. Disintegrated,
She's
never
gone.
to return.
She's gone.
The party then came across and discovered what appeared to be a collection of either imprisoned or encased, powerful but mutated and deformed orcs. Then, through a stroke of luck and a dash of recklessness, the group released said orcs, made quick work of their already weakened forms, and, it seems, are now ready to explore and investigate a dark barrier, a magical veil, it seems, separating them from some sort of dancing orange and red light beyond and carved in ornate structures. And as the group decided to push forward into the void, the group's Ranger Walker popped out his wings, prepared his etherealness spell, and began walking through as the party's current scout.
The booty shuffling through.
Yes. As Walker entered into the blackness of the void,
Oh no.
you had to roll a Constitution saving throw. What is it that you rolled?
Wasn't it like 20? I rolled a
24.
natural 19.
Yeah,
23.
19 on the dice.
23?
Yeah,
Okay, so
I remember being like, you have a +4.
because it's a con save.
as you entered into it, as soon as the fleshy portions of yourself crossed in, you felt a certain warmth. And right as you pierced the veil, you immediately were hit with this blast of oppressive heat. Not damaging, just immediately the kind of heat that makes everything a little sticky. Just an uncomfortable level. And as you're kind of quickly looking around, you're able to adjust, kind of shielding your eyes from this forceful void of now what you're seeing is these kind of very casual lava flows that are moving very slowly, and there's a segmentation of rocks that have these rather ornate pillars. Apparently, creatures kind of twisted around themselves in decorative ways, holding the feet of yet another creature that spins up, and these pillars are comprised of what appear to be dozens of humanoid figures extending to the ceiling of what is now a very tall, cavernous type of room. The gaps between each sort of floating rock face, while they're not moving, is probably anywhere from 5 to 10 feet depending on how it's structured, but there's these kind of almost rocky islands dotting this strange sort of tendrily lava flow that runs through the middle of this large cavern. And as you're able to kind of look across the way, the heat and resonance interfering with the air and your visual acuity, you're not able to make out clear images, but there is humanoid structures and statues, it seems like, on a far wall that's probably 100+ feet away.
The heat and the lava and all that, does it remind me of the pre-entrance to Jovelhigh? Where we had to throw the seed?
It would be like that, except for if you were much further down than where you threw the seed from.
But it may be part of the same kind of whole flow thing.
It's reasonable to think they could be connected.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, if I'm not taking any damage...
It is very uncomfortable. It seems like if you weren't as focused as you were on trying to make sure you were scouting to protect the party, you may be experiencing some adverse effects, but you are able to hone yourself in, and after a little bit of time, you seem to have adjusted to the heat, but you don't necessarily have faith that that's a guarantee.
Look back. Do I see anything?
You see a black veil.
Do I still see him?
You do.
Finger guns! I'll yell out. Can you hear me?
No noise.
But I can see him look like he's yelling.
Yep. And he would likely be kind of shielding sort of the sensitive areas of his face and eyes from the heat.
He looks like he's doing like "Ooh," and yelling something. Oh, I can read lips. He's saying finger guns.
I'll try to cast a message through it.
Does it look like there's like sheens of some sort, or like I just hit some sort of breaking point and like this is where the heat starts?
Yeah, it's almost, the veil itself almost appears to have a concave appearance to it, like the room itself is trying to push out into that hallway, and this veil is causing a separation.
Can I toss light now?
Yeah, you toss it, and you actually see it go forward, and as soon as it hits the veil, it stops.
Oh, so it's still disappearing at the veil. Okay.
Yep.
So I think the veil is just like he threw some light at it and it disappeared as soon as it touched the veil. So it's just a barrier maybe that can stop magic.
Okay, but we want to get through here, right?
I'll wave
He's waving us in.
them, and I'll just slowly start making my way forward, watching out now that there seems to be some man-made structure for some more traps like there was on our way into Jovelhigh.
Okay. The first plateau you're seeing is probably about 20 or so feet wide, opening into a triangular opening. And now the first flow itself, this triangle probably has a depth of about 20 or so feet before the first lava flow cuts through the rock.
If this is the way forward, we need to get the king, we need to get Prick, we need to get Jin.
Right.
Because they're all still in the mansion.
Yeah.
Should I go run and grab them?
Yeah.
Letus, you want to come with me and
I have something for Letus.
pop the king in your pocket?
I mean, he's still in my...
No, we let him into the training room. Tied him up.
And
that's right, he
gave
had
him
to eat food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miserable prick.
Mm-hmm. No, Prick is pretty good.
The goblin.
Yeah, it seems like a lot has changed. Very well. I will follow your lead and do what it is you feel needs to be done.
And what do you have for me?
I don't know if he needs to attune to this because I never got a card for it. But I'm gonna give Letus my cloak that I had from forever ago.
Oh, the
Heat cloak.
thermal. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and speaking of that, as it's getting hot in here and I'm moving forward, I'm going to cast resistance on myself.
I thought you were gonna
Take off your clothes.
Okay. Also, quick shout out to Diredune. Thank you for those.
Hey!
Mr. Spice. Dune Spice.
Sure. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got
It
you.
wasn't anywhere near as good as my dad jokes, but that's fine.
Oh, Arrakis.
No, yours was
Spice. Yeah.
pretty great.
I feel like mine
The
were
spice
pretty on
match
point.
must flow.
Right.
But this isn't about dad jokes. It's about Diredune. Thank you for the support. That is much appreciated. Maybe hang on to that XP here. So,
Great.
Yeah.
what is it you guys want to do next?
Well,
I'll
we're
take the
gonna go
boon
get-
of the ancients, please.
Yeah, right?
Running back to
400?
the mansion
Okay.
and Leas, you go get the king, and I'll be like, Jin, come on.
Do you want to go right now, or do we want to just like maybe rest for like I don't know, like an
We can.
hour?
I think we could do that when we get in.
Well, I mean, like, he can't hear us.
Yeah,
that's
Walker's. He's just.
Yeah, you're right. He's gone.
Prick!
Was Lita supposed to get prick as well? Because I don't
No,
know.
we all went.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
gotcha,
think we
gotcha.
were all going.
I stayed back.
Okay, I went.
So we'll say for the sake of brevity then, eventually Letus comes back, Arathan kind of kicking and screaming on his shoulder and just sort of carrying him there, and you see him squirming, and Letus kind of just locks him in. He sort of limps out and is kind of this folded V over his shoulder. Where's your little goblin friend?
Prick?
Anyway.
We're about to go further into the Underdark, and the mansion's gonna go away. So,
What is Prick supposed to do?
do you want to come with us? Do you want to hang out in the necklace?
Where's Prick going?
We're moving forward.
What is forward?
This,
Forward is not a place.
we're continuing towards our destination.
Where's the destination? Is it not about the journey? We are in the Underdark. You want to go deeper into the Underdark? I just want to prick something!
Well, maybe you'll get to do that when we move on to the next place. I mean, there's things all over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go in the necklace?
Prick needs to prick.
You probably get a couple pieces of the orc, something like that.
I've slept well on your cloud, and I have a number of heads still with me,
Perfect.
and I have my pricker.
Okay, so you're just gonna come with us then. Alright, let's go. And Skadi's gonna like just turn around and walk out of the mansion.
Let's go prick!
And he's kind of just holding his dagger high up in the air and running forward.
Trip and spear himself in the face.
The king begins kind of struggling against it, and Letus just kind of like drops him on the ground. Throws him back up again, and he's kind of a little more docile again.
Is he still squirming?
Not as much, and as Letus is kind of walking out, you see him sort of take a hard turn at the doorway, and the king's head slams into the door frame, and he's just kind of rocked and, but sorry, my fault. Continues walking out back that direction. Thought we might need him for something coming up. So
Yeah, were you gonna put him in the...
Well, not if we're going to, throw him into some kind of pit or, chop his hand off or something.
Well, we can let him out again and have that happen, right?
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back inside? And excellent. And throws him off on the ground again, just like completely tied up, no way to brace himself. Just thuds and crumples onto the ground. There we go. And you see him sucked into the bracer attached to Letus's arm. He was ready.
Okay.
He wanted to.
I'm sure.
I saw.
As we walk, I have my helmet, I think, still active because I activated it with the bees.
No, I'm gonna say you're expired at this. Oh no, because that's an hour. Correct. Yeah, so you'd still be up.
So Jin, we're gonna go on to the next thing, and if it's like too crazy, you wanna pop in the necklace?
I will consider this.
Okay.
What do you mean by crazy?
Dangerous. Damaging to you. Harmful.
I will maintain a close proximity to your red-skinned friend.
Skadi.
Exactly. Yes.
20. What is it? 195.
290.
Yes,
298.
Year of the Dragon.
298 year of the
298.
dragon. Like, I will stand near you.
I don't
Skadi.
understand him, but...
It's Skadi. Alright, let's go!
All right, everybody begins moving forward. You find yourselves eventually at the edge of the black and mysterious magical veil.
As I was moving forward, I'd primeval awareness.
Okay. What's the range on that again?
1 mile.
1 mile? So now you get an extremely strong ping. Normally not able to sense sort of a source or a direction or the ability to pinpoint. It almost illuminates your vision, mixing with the air and the atmosphere, and the distortion kind of crystallizes into this white yellowish cone, creating almost a dotted mask in front of you, pulling you towards that direction as the effect of the spell means to make aware your threats, but also at the same time sort of repelling you with the force that it seems to be measuring. There's this very visceral feel when you cast it. Going forward?
I am.
Okay. So, Skadi pierces through. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
Did I miss it? Did I get a thing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
nice.
strong aberration.
Aberration?
Yep.
You sure? Celestial, Fae,
Yeah.
Fiend, Adoptable Halfling, Undead.
Yeah. The adoptable halfling is 100% the...
Does this seem like a layer of a aberration? Since it is my favored enemy.
Yeah. I'm going to say that aberrations are highly unusual creatures. There's a wider variety of aberrations, perhaps, than you'd see with beasts or fae that share sort of an arcane connection. This has the feeling of definitive distortion. There's natural elements all around you, but you're also sensing that there is a certain aspect of this that is almost ceremonial. The statues, the ornate pillars holding the ceiling up, everything being represented, there seems a certain level of consciousness in this place that would not ever be present in something organic, and the manual work that seems to have gone into this place does not seem to have been done so in a functional way. This is meant to be hospitable to something very specific, and it's likely that something specific is very bad.
You guys can catch up to me pretty fast. I'm only moving at like quarter speed or half speed.
Well, I'm the only one who's gone through the veil, though.
Yeah.
And we had to run back to the
15.
15? You take 1 point of exhaustion as the heat overwhelms your form. And even now, in your more resistant red form, the heat is just so intense and oppressive, it's difficult to adjust to it.
Okay, and then Is comes through as well, I assume.
Yes.
And he's fine.
He's immune to fire damage. So, yes, he goes through and... Oh, it's kind of nice in here.
You like this?
This is great! Are we going to find a hero? Because I kind of like whatever is in here.
Did you say, are we gonna go fight a hero?
Find a hero, because Is a good boy and Is so happy, okay? So we're gonna find something else that is very happy and we'll just live together happy. Oh, this is good.
Alright, let's catch up to Walker.
Yep, there he is! And kind of just begins jovially moving forward, seemingly unaffected by the temperature in the room.
I can Dimension Door is there, but I don't know what that's going to do for... Well, shit, did Jin follow behind Skadi?
No. He's on my shoulder.
I can take you and I, but I don't know if...
I think this thing kind of stops magic, though. Like, it looks like it's blocking what's ever there, because every time they pass it, like, click, click, click.
Yeah, but I don't magic through it. I magic to where I want.
Well, do you want to just try walking through the veil? Why do you want a Dimension Door?
Because I don't know what it does.
Well, it doesn't seem to be adverse to them. It just seems like you can't see through it or pass anything through it.
Is Skadi just walking through casually?
Yeah, it looks like he's practically dancing his way to Walker, and Skadi looks like she's tired, but they're all doing, like, accurate. Like, I don't know. It makes it look like... Would I be able to see the lava or anything like that from here? Or would I be able to get the sense that they're warm or reacting to heat?
I mean, yeah, they would be noticeably uncomfortable. It seems as if maybe over time Walker has adjusted to it okay, but you do sort of recognize the oppressive slump present in Skadi's form. While she doesn't appear to be taking any definitive damage, every few steps is kind of a... And then she continues to march forward, kind of trying to follow Is, who seems almost jovial in his approach.
Just looks like it's hot.
Alright. Fucking heat. Okay.
Am I close enough to make out what the statues are?
Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, do what you want to do, but
Yeah.
statues can't give you consent, homie.
As you are now kind of peering across, just about 20 feet closer to the statues themselves, they appear to be, you can still only really make out humanoid forms, but a little bit closer you're now seeing that there is elven ears. You're sort of seeing a slightly larger form towards the base of the pillar that, as you're kind of able to adjust and gain a better angle, appears to be orcish in nature. As you kind of scale up, it appears as if there is a spattering of different shapes, sizes, forms, male, female. There's just a collection of these humanoid shapes spiraling kind of around each other, poised and kind of holding one another up towards the cabins. Okay.
Are you just gonna go through them?
Yeah, Jin, this is probably gonna be really uncomfortable.
Okay,
What do you mean uncomfortable?
The temperature is not gonna be nice.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be really hot. You know how the temperature out here is different than in the mansion?
I am aware of atmospheric temperature.
Well,
you
you're
need not explain to me as if I am a child fairy dragon.
Well, you've kind of been alive for 2 days.
But obviously you have seen my capabilities.
Yes, you haven't actually experienced heat, really, just heat.
I'm sure I will be fine.
I mean, okay.
Just for S&G, I would like to use the pillar to see if a counterspell at 9th level does anything to this.
Make a spellcasting check.
No.
So as the arcane energy flares out from in front of you, filling this almost halo ring that runs the length of the hallway, it crashes into the blackness of the void. What'd you roll?
A natural 1.
And before it gets to the actual veil itself, you see the edges and the concentrated form of this arcane force begin to crackle and break up at the seams. And before it even crashes into it, almost seems to fall apart and dissipate. A poor casting, perhaps.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna grab your hand and start walking in.
Okay.
Just not feeling it today, Just
Okay.
not feeling it.
No, I swear 5% for a natural 1 is a little low.
Yeah? You think so?
I know there's 20
Probably
numbers
more.
on here,
Yeah.
but I think the 1 comes up a little more often.
Makes sense.
A little weighted.
Seems legit, yeah. Definitely.
I'm pulling out all the tricks I got. Detect portal.
Okay. You do sense a portal. Its location is approximately 100 feet away. It seems as if it is directly in front of you.
Okay.
We're rolling through.
Constitution saving throw, you can make it at advantage.
That's good.
Okay. That's not a 1.
I mean, is that the
So-
celebration? You didn't get a 1 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for Jin,
Mhm.
there you are. Jin got a 17.
Not on
Okay.
Hara
that's a
got
different one,
a
yeah.
dirty 20.
Okay.
Breaks for forever.
So
It was advantage, right?
yes.
Yeah.
As you all step through, immediately the force blasts into you. You see Jin's wings almost kind of catch himself as the waves of heat begin to wash over you, and all you can, fuck that. You see Jin almost frantically and feverishly flying towards Skadi. And he pecks your chest where the necklace is.
Voltor?
Just immediately gets sucked inside. You will take 1 point of exhaustion. So that is Skadi and Sproigins now with 1 point.
Prick, and Letus.
That's correct.
And if the cloak works for Letus, it's at advantage.
Okay. As it turns out, Letus pushes through, kind of clutching his shield and spear both at the ready. The remnants of his perhaps less fancy but still purposeful decision cape kind of blowing behind him as he marches through and shakes his eyes a little bit but seems to adjust quickly with the sweat already beginning to run down his face. Is just kind of now fixing his eyes on what's around him.
He spent a lot of time in the hells.
Yeah. Prick jumps through, immediately freezes.
Do you want in the necklace too?
No. Yes. No.
Well, you.
And he begins kind of angrily marching forward, trying to push himself past. And is seemingly struggling and having difficulty adjusting, but does not seem to have quite the sluggishness you observed with Sproigins.
Or Skadi.
Or yourself, yes.
So, there's a portal.
There's also
There is. And I picked up aberrations.
aberrations.
The strength of the ping was extremely present. So it could be one powerful or many.
I will do my divine sense. That's only within 60 feet. And it's celestial, fiend, undead, consecrated, desecrated.
You do not get any registration.
Mine does the location.
What? Were you doing something?
Nope. Nope.
Trying to be helpful?
What are you guys trying to do?
Nothing.
I haven't seen anything in the room yet, but there's all these statues.
Can you still make water?
Is that part of your original circle? Or was that a cantrip you took?
No, it wasn't a cantrip. It was a.
Create or destroy, right?
Yeah.
So a spell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then if you have it equipped, you can use it.
Does it just evaporate? Do I actually create steam?
I mean, no, it's water. It's not hot enough to just turn water to steam in front of you. Otherwise, you would all be in much worse shape. But it is immediately hot water. Yeah. It's getting off the football field and then hitting that one Gatorade cooler that got the lid left off in the sun. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
I'm not sure this will do anything, but I'll try to just use prestidigitation to, I don't know, cool your neck or something.
Yeah.
Like a little fan. I don't know.
A gentle cooling breeze immediately hits your neck and then just dissipates into this fast-moving, warm air that's not problematic but not comforting.
Because I think it heats and cools dead meat, but
I mean, I can make a breeze if you just want to come stand by me.
Yeah.
I'll just non-stop drink.
I didn't think it would actually do anything other than flavor.
This is how I felt when we were in the desert.
Do we just want to
Push forward?
I would like to kind of look at these statues.
Well, I mean, you have to. I could only kind of make them out from here, so.
I know he's not that smart. I'm gonna cast guidance on Is.
Okay.
Can you head over to those statues and tell us what you see?
Okay, sure, yeah. I mean,
How far away are they?
No, why not? They're about 100 feet.
I'm gonna try and stay within like 30 feet of them.
And isn't there lava in between here and there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plenty of it.
I know he's fine, but what if there's stuff in the lava?
He walks up kind of to the first ledge and sort of looks back. Okay. And pushes himself off with all fours. Go ahead and make an athletics check for Is. All 8. All 8s.
He's got guidance.
Yeah, I know. I'm debating if I want to use it now.
Guidance continues, I think. It's a D4 per minute, or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought it was only one use.
On saving throws.
One ability check.
Oh, any one.
It's a cantrip.
Wait, what is this?
Yeah, that's true.
Guidance.
Oh, I was thinking
Oh,
resistance.
I'm thinking bless. That's what it is. Sorry.
We're all just
You
going
got
with different
strings.
spells.
Yeah.
Did you say athletics?
Athletics check.
How far down is the lava? I had pictured in my head that it was like right there.
Probably about 5-foot drop.
Okay.
Can I fly up and see? Is it an open chamber? I mean, I saw the tall statues, right?
There are a number of pillars that seem to line almost the room is divided into thirds by these pillars.
Okay.
Not wholly divided, but there's almost a row of pillars running down that is just 3 along. And then they go up to the ceiling, and other than that, it is largely open, and the sort of rocky platforms that remain intact kind of have a jagged randomness to them based on just where the lava has carved through.
Okay, I'll go up and just try to get a bird's eye view of what they're doing.
Okay, so you are able to fly up, seemingly without issue, looking down, have a good vantage point beyond. The heat rising, especially with you trying to look down, makes it a little bit more difficult to focus, but you are able to sort of see what's taking place.
Okay.
11.
11. So, you see 4 legs in front stretch out, the 4 legs in back all push off the ledge, and the 6-foot gap across you see is basically belly flop into the lava. And you see like this kind of splashing of lava up over the edge as help!
Okay. I'm gonna fall toward him.
He's not in range to be fall toward. He's now flowing.
Is he like 10 feet away?
Yeah, you said it was 5 feet
5
drop.
feet down, yeah.
Yeah. So that would actually be like, he wouldn't be that far from me.
You have to be within touch range to use the necklace.
I've never had to be within touch range.
When have you used it outside of touch range?
I've used it a few times outside touch range for the group.
I don't think so.
No.
Nope.
Like, we've always been close.
Yeah.
But if he's only
But you said
7.5 feet away from me,
Yeah, well, you're not Wilt Chamberlain, so you're not just gonna reach down and like tag him.
okay.
I'll cast Big B's hand and see if I can help try to pull him up.
Okay. Presumably, Is very cooperative for that idea. All right. And how many hit points does Big B have again? It's like
He has my
28 or something.
my hit points. 119.
Hey, stick your tail up.
All right, yeah, we're not going to get close to that then. So as Big B's hand slams into the lava, able to sort of almost scoop Is up, the massive hand is trying to pick him up as Is sort of grapples to it like a life preserver in the open water. Go ahead and make a strength check with Big B's hand.
It's just like all 8 legs, like. Once he gets within range, I'm going to, if like it lifts him enough, I'll fall toward him.
Okay.
This is what would be grasping hand?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Well, it's strength plus 8.
Well, it's the die roll plus 8, right?
Right, yep.
14 plus 8.
What, 22? So you see the hand plunge in, kind of like the inverted crane game, and like the push pedestal, you see Is sort of flailing, but is being lifted up out of the lava flow and is being drawn back.
Oh, then I
towards
won't
the-
fall toward him at all. If Bigby's hand can get him back.
It seems as if without too much strain, Bigby is lifting and floating, but the lava is clearly starting to tear and peel away at Bigby's arcane energy, and the hand itself is sort of a tattered wisp of the normal solid form you're used to seeing.
Okay, buddy, we're gonna work on swimming. Okay?
Oh, yeah, I've never done that.
I know, Yep.
It's like heavy water.
Yep. we're gonna work on swimming.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strong, but like, heavy water is much heavier than water.
Yeah. That's like what you were born in. So.
I mean, okay, sure, but I have been a born once now, so I don't need it to be a born again.
Please don't. You're But
I just want to go to the light.
What light?
No, the light's on the other side. I just want to go there.
Which light?
You're looking at illumination across the way from the dancing lava and the fire that surrounds the area.
So that's what, 100 feet?
100 feet from the very edge of the first precipice that you find.
And I, knowing my wings are going to fall out soon, I'd like to make it to the other side.
Don't do a fallout.
Oh, that doesn't work! I'll do a twisty fallout! The corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
So you fly across, the heat still extremely oppressive on you, but able to push past. Not overly bothered by the conditions of the environment, are able to sort of gently land across. And now you see these figures that were kind of obscured at a distance. There is what appears to be a human form, strong, muscular, wearing what appear to be greaves and leather armor, very ornately carved, not from rock. Well, rock of sorts, but more of like a marble, a rigid soft stone, seemingly different from the cave around it. And as you kind of look up, it's got its hand placed on another humanoid form that is currently sitting in a chair, resembling something of a throne. But the entire face almost feels carved out, destroyed. This is just an amalgamation of the natural cave element stone. Okay. And as you look up at that first figure, it seems to have a goat's head. And as you then scan up just across the other way, there's another hand on the shoulder of the stone throne figure. Looking up, and you see what appears to be these massive tusks and this boar's head attached to this humanoid form that appears also rigid and strong, carved from a different stone of the surrounding material.
And this is where Walker stops leading. And I will motion for the group to come over and kind of hide behind something.
Okay.
Take the hiding.
I think it's like rock steady.
Why?
Number one dad joke right there. Okay, yeah. Holding action, where you get your daily dose of a terrible dad jokes.
Yeah, you started the wrong trend.
Yep.
That's right. Best dad joke. Put those 20s in the chat.
Alright, so how do you guys want to get across?
I can get across with my dimension door.
I can fly.
I can fly.
Bias.
Is
You want to knock this one and fly across.
It's could have swim.
No, we're not gonna try that again.
And then there's Letus and Prick.
Yeah, they can also hang out.
If you guys, do I feel like they, with Big B's condition, they would be able to sit on there and I could just
You
swim them
probably
across?
could do two humanoid creatures. As you sort of gesture down, you see Letus drop his sword and shield to his side, and immediately they're both sucked into his form as his entire skin turns white and the wings again pop out. Good.
Angel baby stuff. Is he okay?
And begins
Okay.
flying forward to catch up with Walker.
Prick, you want to jump on my giant magic hand?
Kind of looks across the way at
Such a Walker
Letus's
statement.
looks at everybody else now kind of going through their arcane preparations and looks at his dagger.
Just get
Yeah,
on.
I would like to
Yeah.
jump on the hand.
He's actually visceral.
Hand!
Kind of steps on it,
I have
stabs it.
the thumb and pinky kind of hold him in place.
The little sleigh push.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and just shoot.
Hit him with the inverted pool cue as he
Mhm.
scoots across. All right.
This
So-
is the longest an NPC has ever survived with us.
Give it
That's
time.
not true.
Two sleeps.
Letus has stayed with us forever.
Yeah, I got it.
You guys already killed him.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
Keeble
he
survived
killed
a lot
him,
more
yeah.
sessions.
That's a thing.
Keeble's probably still alive.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just in the tree crying.
Maybe.
With
So how are you
Very,
getting
yeah.
across?
dimension.
Okay.
Also,
You're flying?
hey, the Agent Rocket.
Woo!
Whoa.
Welcome to the Action Junkies.
Okay.
Thanks for the follow.
So cute.
Detective Rocket.
Yeah.
Chose right.
Detective Agent Rocket.
Well, then instead of using my wings, I'll
Give you the red rocket treatment.
I'll take your hand and.
Doggy style.
Best dad joke. Put your 20s in the jam.
What? That's like a uncle joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
shit.
like
That's
uncle flipping the burgers a little too much time. It's like his house shoes on, but like just waiting for like the kid to get old enough to hear the dirty joke.
Like still in a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Like nothing shaved or trimmed
And
at all.
unfollowed.
Yeah. Holding action. Demonetized.
It's just Randy Quaid from National Lampoon.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Yeah. All right. Well, we welcome your snorkel mask and your flip flops.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out.
Especially since we'll need clothes because
Yeah.
we're demonetized.
All right, so grab your hand and dimension door us across.
Okay.
Yes.
So both of you, the pink and purple arcane cloud disappears in one end, immediately poofs, and you catch Letus just landing on the other side as you finish casting. I suppose Big B just
I would have
catching
waited
up.
until Big B
Okay.
moved over because I didn't want to break that. It's not a concentration, but I don't want to take my
Like,
eye
just
off
in
of
case.
It.
yeah, and
Right.
you get
You
lava.
get across dimension door and like pricks like melted like
Yeah.
volcano.
So about
That's
the longest surviving.
an NPC has
Yeah.
lived with us. Nailed it. Good job, guys. All right.
All right, Is.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get in and I'll let you out as soon as we get across because it's too heavy of water for you.
Do you promise?
I promise.
Okay.
Okay, Baltor him in,
Get sucked into the necklace.
and I'm gonna turn into the vulture.
Okay. You are a vulture.
They live in the
Yeah.
desert where it's hotter.
Yep. Sure.
And I'm gonna fly across, unvulturify, and let this out.
Yep. Seemingly without issue.
Unvulturified.
Yeah.
Wait, there's like a path over here, right? I'm not just like.
There is another sort of echeloned plateau, if you will, that is separated from kind of these segmented rocky
I'm not gonna
sections.
just need to come right back across, though. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, that depends. Do you have an alligator, a lamb, and a lion? Because then, like, you have to figure out the right...
No,
way.
I have a crocodile, a ewe, and.
Yes, you're fine. You can land over on that side.
Okay. Cool. Then yeah, and I let us out and all that good stuff.
Okay.
I told you, I promised, bud.
All right. Okay. So you now all find yourself in front of this carved stone structure, the soft stone throne in front of you with this sort of loosely carved, not as intricately detailed feature, almost with a purposefully destroyed face, like a very dull pickaxe taken to certain portions of it. And as you look up, this slightly lighter stone, as opposed to the brownish yellow that kind of surrounds you with the rest of the rocky environment, you are now seeing these two almost whitish yellow, kind of a clean and smoother stone. Still somewhat porous, but much different. It was likely brought here. This does not seem to be consistent with any of the surrounding elements you've seen thus far.
And that's the goat and the boar and the husky.
Just the goat and the boar.
But they have their like.
They're both.
There's also
It seems
like
like resting a hand on the humanoid figure on the throne, but that humanoid figure is just carved from the rock wall itself.
Oh.
But there's no rhino.
There's not.
Seems really bad. I don't.
When there's lava.
What kind
there's-
of
Nailed it.
what kind of clothes do the boar and the
Both of them seem to be wearing almost very casual tunics.
like
to
a farmer's
certain-
clothes?
You
maybe?
can say that. It seems to be a shirt that would go down to just above the knee and kind of be cinched with a belt. They don't necessarily have the texture of clothing, as they're all carved from rock, but they seem to be wearing sort of more mundane things, but there's still leather strappings and armor that appear to be part of that form.
Does that seem consistent with the descriptions that we were given about Green and Grable?
Beer and
Oh,
gravel.
my bad.
If you wanted to sort of be ready to farm at a moment's notice, but also like maybe needed to do some heroics, this might end up how you look.
Any, no, I don't. No.
How far away are they?
You're standing in front of them.
They're just like right there.
Yeah, at the back wall, they are seemingly part of it. This small outcropping of the back of the cave wall carved out to create this throne and humanoid figure, and then these two larger statues looming at least 15 feet above it seem to just be resting their hands on the shoulder of this throne humanoid figure.
And where was my portal ping? Like,
seemingly in this location, yeah.
in this location, like in front of them, in them?
I mean, from the distance you were at, I mean, it doesn't remain active, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
No.
So you would be in the approximate direct area.
All right.
But is there not a
I have
portal?
a thing
It's just
that allows
a
me to
cave wall.
divine
There's not
sense to
from
see
here
if
to
like
here.
they're just a statue or if there's something else.
Do you want to use the eye thing?
We only have one more use today.
Yeah, that's well, shit. I need to get a sleep seer.
This hasn't been very long.
Or we could still just
Yeah, but
relax.
I just walked through a
Relax and uncool.
20-foot desert.
I'm gonna use this for the first time. I don't have to touch it. That was what I was double checking. I want to cast Pass Wall.
Okay.
What's that?
A passage appears at a point of my choice that I can see on a wooden, plaster, or stone surface.
Mm-hmm. And you make the determination, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to just make it as big as it goes, as far back as it goes, 20 feet deep, and see if I want to see what's inside the wall behind these guys.
Okay. As you create the wall, you are seeing the form of the thrown figure almost twist and break and crumble and fold in on itself as the two looming figures remain completely unmoving. A rectangular cutout is eventually formed from the broken, shattered pieces of this thrown figure before you see the carved shape begin to drive directly backwards into the cliff face, or into the rock face of the wall. It continues to move forward until you hear the rumbling of the moving earth and stone shifting against itself stop. And it appears to be a 20-foot cutout of a hallway that
Fucking hallway, dude.
I mean, that is what I made, yeah.
it just has an end.
You have a spell that creates the most legendary enemy of all time.
I mean, there's no
The
door.
hallway.
If it was a hallway and then a door,
Oh shit.
Did you just like make that a permanent hallway? Or
No,
is that...
no. It
Do we
goes
see
back
that?
to how it was.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happens if someone's inside and then?
They poop out. They fall out.
An unoccupied space.
Good to know.
last use.
Yeah, I would say now we,
Yeah.
There does appear to be sort of a scattered purple energy dotting and picking lines that you can kind of see the faint arcane glimmer of within this hallway that has now been created that ends in this sort of boxcar type shape. But it almost appears as if it is fragmented and twisted, no longer in a sort of coalesced form. You're not really able to pick out or identify any specifics, but a little bit of a closer examination reveals kind of almost this running purple arcane energy in these tiny little arcs that almost appear to kind of just be dancing off various points in the wall that she has now created.
So does it seem like something was made on the king figure and then now it's turned into a hallway? Like it was spread out in that kind of way?
Make an intelligence check.
Uh, 22.
22. The details of it seem like if they were assembled, if they could be assembled, might potentially yield something, but you're not really able to discern what that might be, what the circumstances are, or if they are assembled. You're not familiar with the spell that Skadi cast, but you do know they seem almost erratic and random and scattered in the current state of this rock wall.
Does it look like it's something that I could draw, or does it is it constantly moving?
It's almost fluidic, moving arcane energy. It's not a persistent shape or design. It is sort of a swirling mass that you catch in a brief moment. A moment later, it's in an area nearby. A moment after that, another area. But it doesn't seem to resemble form in any way you could convey.
That was complicated for me to explain, so I explained that.
Yeah, sure. And Malhoy King.
Oh,
Malhoy King. Welcome to the Action Gem.
Hey,
thank you for the follow.
Craxalaxon.
So you guys are now looking at this boxcar hallway carved out, cut into the face of what used to be sort of this humanoid form made from rock, standing amid these two more pristine, ornate figures.
Do you see anything in there?
I mean, yeah, okay, sure.
Yep.
Okay, sure.
Make a perception check what it is.
In case it's worn off.
Okay, sure. If you'd like to use that.
I would, even though he's being pretty perceptive for him right now.
Yeah, you should have used that when he was like, should I jump off this ledge into this lava? Because anything over a 10 probably would have told him. Yeah.
So he gets a 16.
16. Okay, let me see. Ooh, that's an interesting. Peculiar.
It is Pakua.
Yeah, very peculiar. Yes. Okay, so let me tell you what it is to see. Okay.
Yep.
So there's some rock, and there is some color.
What color?
It's like a blue or like a purple.
Okay.
You
Are you just repeating what Hara said?
Well, I mean, I also see it. So,
okay. Do you see anything different than what Hara said?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay. I thought maybe with your, super good is eyes, maybe?
Sure, yeah. Its eyes are also good, but also it's good. So, but its eyes is not super strong.
That's not your strongest feature, is
No. My strongest feature is, is. That's alright, okay.
I mean, yeah, can I examine what's left of the figures, even though they've been kind of folded in a little bit?
Well, the spell itself did not seem to take hold in the area where these two large figures were. It almost seemed to carve the stone away from them and push back into the cave face, and now there's almost just these two figures, hands in place over this gap. And as you look back into it, the sort of empty semi-trailer continues to push back in, and there's nothing to make form of.
So, I mean, I guess, can you, go over they're just, what is the expression of the hand placement? Is it,
It's just on the shoulder, as if it was resting.
Does it look like two proud sons and a father? But the father would be
yeah, in the traditional sort of Vanity Fair oil painting kind of feel. They're just standing there, but there's not a particularly expressive emotion on the face of the figures. It is almost sort of this pristine, meant to be like a regal pose of overseeing and sort of this prominent positioning, but also clearly meant to be symbolic in some way.
All three elves? Elven?
Well, one has a goat's head,
yeah,
and the other has...
Oh, I thought it was just like a hat.
No,
okay.
like the head appears to resemble that of a goat.
Is it an elf goat stuff?
I mean, it's got pointy-ish ears, so
Are they blue elves?
I mean, they're all of a whitish yellow stone, so...
The figure that was that had the face fucked up, before that got smushed in, did that have any specific features?
What's your passive perception here?
Shit, I don't know.
'Cause you didn't take an opportunity to check out the figure very much.
It's 19 on my sheet. I don't know if I've updated that.
Well, the DC I have puts you in there, so we will say that figure itself, you were able to make out the basic humanoid form, and it was almost kind of sitting in this like very boring, rigid pose, but seemed to have maybe your eye, before Skadi having casted the spell, your eye kind of caught maybe that there was sort of something in its lap, similar to like maybe a regal pillow with something kind of ornamental or noticeable there. But again, the entirety of it was a little bit vague, clearly not a lot of time or detail paid to this central figure. A great deal of time and effort put into these two taller figures. The smaller figure itself, the throne, probably only being about 10 or so feet tall, whereas the other two are closer to 15, 17-ish feet, scraping the top portion of the ceiling just barely.
And the two, those were brought in from the outside, right?
You haven't seen stone around here similar to it. That would be your presumption, most likely. You don't necessarily see evidence of that, but you're not seeing this type of stone around here either.
In my schooling, would that have... Does any of that stick out as like some sort of royalty with two famed sons that possibly could have died maybe in this area or whatever, and would have been buried underground?
There are probably a lot of folklore-ish type tales that maybe match portions of that. Go ahead and make a history check.
Balls taco, dude.
Balls taco.
Oh, tacos. 7.
Yeah. So, in the most general of senses, this structural presentation doesn't seem to bring to mind anything that you can hearken back to as a definitive indicator. But you're even having difficulty coming up with some of the stories you remember hearing at your Bard College, and just not really able to connect any dots there, unfortunately.
I was just wondering if this wasn't a burial.
This is probably going to be the gateway to where they're kept.
Right.
There is a barrier between us and them that need the blood of a king, and here's a king with no face.
Right, that's... Essentially, I was trying to see if this wasn't a burial for the king, or for this figure, and then this is the reason why could be the sons or whatever are here now, and these pillars got brought in.
It could be. I was kind of thinking that she mentioned her master, her trainer. I'm just trying to think of why she would set up her lair where she did.
That was probably because of that bomb-ass crystal.
I mean, maybe, but it's just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, it was protected for a specific reason. So I don't think you're off. I just don't know if it's a coincidence.
I think this is probably the way to the pillar fight. And I say that specifically because she stated, I can bring you to the door, but I can't get you in.
Yeah.
So should we try to rest up, get ready, just in case?
Well,
Does this go away? Is it just a...
I'm just going to pull out Telcher's rod here real quick.
Mm-hmm. So instead of the inch or so that was originally illuminated, you're now catching about half the rod of the full 12 inches or so. The 6-inch top half of it is...
He did.
He did it.
Demonetized. The rod now glows with a subtle white hue towards the middle, but near the tip is a...
Jesus Christ.
a bright white arcane glow.
Just like the mom head shake going over here.
Fucking demonetized.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like... Our boys, man.
We're gonna get reported on Twitch. All they do is...
What the heck is wrong with you two?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so this is where we need to go.
Jesus.
We should try to prepare a little bit.
Yeah, I can do the mansion, because I just want like some fruits.
Well, yeah, you two are looking a little, I'm tired, ragged. I know we We woke up like what, 2 hours ago? 3?
Oh, I could go to sleep.
Like that.
I at least need to like.
We should try to heal up and stuff too.
Well, we don't have
Gotta
to.
unwind, play a little bit
Like
of my
I'm
Sproigins.
still feeling a little that fall to the abyss kind of still hurts.
I mean, like we can, we don't have to go to bed just because we put the mansion up. Like we can hang out for a little bit,
But like
maybe do
rest
some
it up.
research, and then get some sleep, and then do this.
Yeah, Sproigins got some reading he's got to do.
What?
The journal I gave you.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'll for sure
Letus, do you know anything about?
read.
Because you got the king knowing that you needed the king.
You
Is
cast
this
comprehend languages on me?
But yeah, this
I don't think
ties
so.
directly to the reason I think that they're here.
cool? Do we know?
You can read a shitload of languages, right, Letus?
Well, yeah, the Via brother, I think,
No.
was cast out and eventually led to his death because they failed to protect King Agafor. He was nothing special, better than Arathan, of course, but
Everything is.
there have been some bad ones too. I've read a lot of books. I think maybe there's something to be said for the path that they had to walk after their first huge failure. To be heroes led to Via's death, Grable's frustration. It's possible they blame that on Agafor to a certain extent, or I don't know exactly. There wasn't a lot of detail in that regard, but there's a certain symbolism at play, and the need for blood of a king was present in the text as a trigger to access one's sense of worthiness to meet them. I would not be surprised if something in that vein was likely the case.
Do you think they had contempt against Agafor?
I don't know that Via had much to say about it at all, but if you are renowned brothers living on a farm, at peace and happy, doing good for the people around you, and so good that you are tapped to protect the king or to be chosen for something special, and then you find out that not being able to do so puts you in a bad position with those people you care about most. And if it leads to the death of maybe your brother, I could see how one would harbor a certain resentment for that.
Does Agafor sound familiar to anybody else?
I will let Skadi and Sproigins make a history check here if they would like. Oh, you gotta bless the die.
Nope, didn't bless.
That was today's
Shit.
tea. What'd you roll?
It's not a 1.
Okay.
5.
5.
Wow,
The
this
name
heat.
rings a bell.
Oh yeah, are we at disadvantage too? With exhaustion point?
With
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't really right now. I thought skill checks was a reduction in speed at first, but
I think second level is.
You're right.
Yep. Okay, so the name rings a bell to both of you. Maybe vague whispers or offhand mention at some point in your childhood of this king at some point, but that's really it. Yeah.
I think it's like the brother of some guy who ran a school or something in some book I read a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe there's something about it in the library in Letus's room. I don't know. They don't really give a shit about any of this.
Okay.
I just want some like just something cold,
Well, let's
and
go.
I'm just
in.
ready to go to sleep.
Can you cast the mansion then? We
Yeah.
can like. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just do the mansion.
The laziest
Just
mansion cast.
mansion it on up. Okay, sure. So you cast the mansion. Where are you casting it?
Just near like wherever just like away from the against the wall, but away from the little opening that was created.
Okay. And Skadi, are you maintaining the pass wall there?
No.
Okay. So as all the rocks sort of Ultron back into place and push out, eventually reassembling themselves as some of the broken rocky forms kind of almost crawl their way up to the head and reassemble as the last portion there.
I want to look at it again with the last of the, if it's still up.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll say that it is. With the sort of last little dying wisp of the Gem of Seeing, you kind of look across the statue, both eyes, one through the lens of true sight, one through the normal lens of your vision, and you see sort of this object on his lap now resembles a typical throw pillow, but sort of draped across. Maybe what could have been the remnants of like carved tassels that are now kind of just degraded to points that slightly dangle off the edge. No longer any kind of definitive detail. And in the center of this, on his lap, almost appears to be the outline of this circle with kind of these subtle ridges up and down. And kind of not really knowing what to make of it, you sort of use the gem, and immediately the statue itself remains vague and weathered and eroded, but the pillow glows a brilliant orange. A golden trim, almost made of a fabric it seems, lines the edge with dangling ball tassels that are attached to the golden trim at each angle, and in the middle of it sits a beautiful golden crown, ornate with various gems, extremely unique and highly etched sort of tales of heroic deeds and wars won seem to cover the brim from just the front glance that you can see. And as you kind of look forward in a little bit, the central portion of the crown is a swirling purple vortex that almost disappears beyond vision. And then you kind of get a gauge and are about to continue to inspect more, and it's right then that the gem blinks out.
That statue is crazy. So all that magic stuff that Is was saying and I was saying, like, that pillow is light. And there's like stuff. Is there like a crown shape, or is it just the pillow?
Well, no, it's the pillow, and there's a circle that appears to have sort of a... It might have been a crown at one point, but now is broken, eroded, destroyed for the most part. You can see the outline of where a circle would have been.
So there's like that circly bit. It's actually like for a crown, and inside of the crown is like swirling. It's like crazy. So like that spot is something happens. I don't know.
That makes sense. I got a ping for a portal, so
like in the...
It seems we have found...
That's where you drop some blood of the king.
How big is it?
It's probably about your typical diameter of a crown. 9-10 inches across, give or take.
Alright, well, spit him out and put his blood in there. And
Not
then...
yet. No.
What? Why?
Throws him out.
Because we don't want to open a random portal if we get sucked in, and then we have to go into a fight and we're all tired.
We've never been sucked into any portal ever.
So immediately, Erethan comes flying out, laying on the ground.
Or maybe it kills him and it's only open for like 5 minutes.
What?
I said, or maybe it kills him and it only opens the portal for 5 minutes.
Alright, I mean, sure.
Let's bring him in the mansion.
Maybe try just like a little bit of blood.
No, we'll try. Oh, well.
I mean...
A little finger prick.
Maybe just like a little bit of a... Oh! Get Prick out here. Ooh. Prick him.
Yeah, he's right here!
Yeah!
Prick him in the finger!
Okay,
But don't take the finger, just...
So he kind of walks over to Erethan's form on the ground and just stabs him in the rib.
Ah! You wanna prick ya?
Just...
Okay.
And stabs him.
No, it's...
You said prick him.
Yeah,
you told me to prick him.
You did a good job. You pricked him twice.
Put the...
Just one prick.
Hang your dagger over the...
One!
No
and
more!
stabs him again. And Erethan...
I'm gonna just prick.
Just hang your dagger over this crown on this
And I'll
pillow.
like grab his neck and like guide him towards the
I
pillow.
like him now.
I want to keep this.
Yeah, just
Yeah, you can
just
keep it.
shake a drop
Yeah, just put a drop in.
into the circle.
It kind of reaches,
And then I'll pull him back as soon as the drop falls off.
and you see almost a soft arcane glow begin. Purple light sort of emanating from it gently, and you
Stepping
see the
back.
blood almost absorb like a sponge into the stone, and then the glowing stops.
It needs more.
Let's rest. Let's rest.
Alright.
We're not going into another pillar fight like super tired.
Alright. What do you want fish tacos?
No. Regular tacos.
Okay.
I want some beef. Some chicken.
You guys haven't done a taco bar since your last genocide, I think.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, let's taco bar it up. Can get you some of your veggie tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright. Ragnar, taco bar.
and immediately the Regnons begin scurrying about and going through the process of setting up the original accoutrement, not seen since the Feywild Eldritch destruction. And the taco bar is ready. For the sake of brevity, we'll say that you are all able to digest, enjoy your meal, find yourselves ready to relax. Is there anything anyone wishes to do?
I'm gonna put harm in the loot.
Okay.
I want to skim through the.
And you still have a 6 left to do that? Correct? Okay.
I want to skim through that celestial book that Letus had to see if there's anything in there about Beer and Grable.
Okay. Well, that is where he got that information from, as he told you that early on.
Oh, so there probably wouldn't be anything else in there.
So you can read the story itself to maybe glean more insight than what he just conveyed to you if you'd like to do that, but you are at least aware that is where Letus is drawing his information.
Gotcha. Then I trust that he knows his things.
What do you want to have Letus read the?
No. Liz.
All right, I'll read it then.
Last time you read something, it didn't work out.
Well, I mean, I've read a lot of books, so.
Yeah, he's got a library. I literally put a library in
The
his
last time we gave him something in different languages, he lied to us and then killed himself.
I mean, that's definitely one way.
Yeah,
to
he
look
doesn't
at
get
that.
to read it.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
And you don't do the same thing.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not gonna kill myself because of a book. I went to school. I would have done it then.
Yeah, lots of people go to school. We don't all grow up on islands and stuff. It's fine.
Yeah. Also, I have a book that I don't dare read any further because it is a evil book. Yeah, it literally has the word, like, I think, evil written on it.
We should triple dispel it.
Triple dispel it.
No, I'm gonna keep it for Ventress, I think.
Just finger rocket.
Oh, no, it's vile, but it's evil, but it's written as
Just-
vile.
Blast the old finger rockets.
Can I have had you let Jin out during taco bar time?
Oh yeah. And you can have a ham taco. That sounds disgusting.
He'll just have ham.
How do you make a ham taco worse?
Oh,
I think a ham mayonnaise taco is
You
probably
heat
the
up the ham first, and then you put it on there.
no.
Yeah.
Jin, just eat whatever you
cold
want.
mayonnaise, warm ham, wrapped in a veggie burrito.
It's just like a spoon of mayo
I
put
hate
in Cool Whip.
Yeah,
It sounds so gross.
with potato salad dip.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
we
All right, so-
explored that further than we should have.
I did the loot.
Welcome to holding action.
Yeah, to our new followers. What's up?
Yeah.
I'll read the. What do you want me to get out of this book?
I don't. There's parts of it that I can't understand.
Can you-
It's in languages I don't.
Can you show me where in the book?
Yeah, I'll pinpoint to the languages I didn't like through those ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you are flipping through, are you using your comprehend language
Yeah.
then? So all of the runes kind of quickly deciphering as you flip past and are going through, you're starting to recognize the notes specifically that Walker was sort of guiding you and explaining to you as context for what he had looked into. Go ahead and make an investigation check and tell me what you were trying to pull from this.
What is it?
Well, I'll tell him the gist of what I read and how it's like a beast book and like it's her notes and all that kind of stuff, and you can decide what you want to try.
Alright, I guess I would like to try to figure out what it is that she was trying to stay alive for. I guess what her ultimate goal was, if that's in there. If you're trying to keep yourself immortal for a specific reason, to see if that's...
Yeah, so go ahead and make an investigation check for that.
This is fine.
I mean, it's your best roll all night.
13.
13. Knowing specifically what you're looking for, provided context by Walker, and knowing that all you're really looking for is a bit of an end game, it's not too hard to actually dial in on the portion of the book you'd want to focus on. The book itself is littered with scribblings and notes and almost folded page inserts that appear to be biological schematics of creatures you haven't seen, and you're kind of continuing to flip through quickly to get to something that you can recognize as a meaningful entry that isn't inherently clinical.
I think I would also stop if I came across anything about doppelgangers.
Okay. You do see there's a number of quick flip portions alluding to the shape-changing ability of doppelgangers and how that might be utilized in these experiments, and how most of the failures have been due to the creature's inability to sustain prolonged exposure and things of that nature. It appears as if whatever is being done is both drawing something from the creature in question and putting something into them, hopefully as a methodology to just sustain their existence, not give it any kind of meaning. And connecting that with what you've already experienced, it now seems that the orcs were meant to be almost just these hollowed husks, these creatures that persisted and lived sheerly on constitution and force of will, and that force of will could continually then be siphoned away. To coalesce, maybe, to draw strength from in some form, you can't quite be sure. You're not really sensing like a directional flow, as this is mostly sort of a collection of trial and error type of observations. But as you're kind of flipping through the back, one of the inserts happens to drop out, fall on the ground, open itself up as it twists and tumbles over. And therein you see a goat's head, a boar's head, schematics dissecting and drawing different proportions, a number of creatures listed underneath each, eventually crossed out it seems. Then there's a tiny little inscription below that. I've met much failure. As soon as I find the creature that can sustain me through the gap, I will certainly emerge on the other side and collect it myself. It seems as if whatever functional purpose she was pursuing, it was meant to sustain some kind of extremely jarring or lethal experience, but still be able to emerge successful. And it seems as if thus far all of her experiments suggest that that may not be the case with what she has found thus far.
I would have read that over the taco bar, and you guys would have probably inched closer. And then it's like the Goonies looking over like the one-eyed Willy map.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
That none of them else can read, but yeah.
So without the king's blood, it like kills you, or even with the king's blood going through kills you? That's what that kind of seems like.
Seems like we think we know what we're gonna try.
Yep.
Sounds like she was maybe trying to figure out what she needed to get in
But
there.
she was just trying to power her way through.
Right.
With such a little amount of blood and how the space reacted.
I mean, we've got a whole king here. And we just empty them all out.
We've got a whole one king.
You have 2.
Yeah, but
We've only got one we're gonna use though.
I think you have 3.
yeah, that's
No.
I mean, it still doesn't change anything.
You'll be king as
Pretty
soon as we
king.
use 1.
No, he'll be king when he's
I mean,
coordinated.
I'm also sort of wanted for treason,
I mean, like,
so I don't know if that technically counts.
no. You're actually 2 kings. Like, could be a king, but then also the title that I gave you.
King of the 2 feet beneath me. Right. Yes, I carry that mantle with me to this day.
Yeah, same here. But I'm not going to use my blood or your blood. I don't think it's official. Tacos, though, right?
It got me a free chicken drumming when I was on my way back to you, so
Excellent.
it's not true. It's, no one recognizes that. That's not a thing. But I appreciate the title nonetheless. What is it we would like to do?
I would like to go sleep. And then go fight a bear elf.
Boar?
Boar elf.
Yes, maybe you do need some rest.
And then a goat elf.
Do we know anything about them at all? My book that I had read gave me a little bit of context and maybe sort of something of a motivation, but I know very little of what we are about to face. Much like I knew very little about the Ancient One, but the well and the story of what had happened to the Carl Handenfell before.
Can you do your lore thingy?
No. I don't have any more.
Incense?
Yeah.
Incense is all you need?
Well, how much of it?
Yeah. Just like 250 gold worth.
I've got 15 pounds of incense.
No, you gave me the 15 pounds.
All of it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm like, that is a lot of incense.
Yeah.
It would be the absolute last of what I had, but I could accommodate if you needed it for something specific. It would take away my ability to do some smaller other things, but I feel if this is what you feel needs to be done, I could offer that as
I mean, it could help us or it might not. I did the same spell when we went to fight at Var or the Soul Harbor, and it
But it could,
really didn't
I mean, we know nothing
give us a whole
now.
lot. Yeah, we saw what the I saw what the Soul Harbor could do, and it just didn't really give me a whole lot.
well, what do we know?
They are elves. Do we know what kind of elves? Does that matter?
Are they elves?
I never specified that they
Yeah.
were.
I thought with
king
the
was-
things. Right.
There
we
were
just know
some
that they're
figures
ghosts.
in the pre-chamber or whatever that had elvish features, but they themselves were goat.
Well, they're brothers.
Well, let me look at my notes.
Beer died first, right?
Yes.
As far as we know, Grable.
They're.
We've never heard any stories of him dying.
Farmers, they became champions and folk heroes. Veer was killed. Grable lost his will. The village was destroyed. To undo it all, Grable made arrangements. That's all I've got.
I'm gonna go grab my dad's journal and do a, now that we have new names, just do a quick and see if there's anything in there.
Okay.
I guess I'll pull out the Celestial Book and see if there's anything more to give for lore.
Okay. If you want to cast your comprehend languages, you can do that.
Yep.
Okay. So, knowing that you're looking for a very specific chapter, it seems as if Letus did give you the vast majority of the essence of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to pick out finer details. The city was falconry. The heroes themselves had expanded and covered a great deal of Andala with their heroics. And ultimately, it turns out that Vir was killed as part of a escort assistance navigating King Agafor down south towards Lunabar. Seems as if they were attacked, and Vir's magic was not able to protect both the king and himself. And Vir died trying to protect the king. After that, it seems Grable was not able to sustain his own heroics, as he appeared to lean on the symbiosis of the two of them working together. Grable lost his way, eventually his will and mind, and sought out a dark deal to undo the injustice he felt was done to their family.
Does it say anything about who that king is? Like...
Agafor.
Well, I know, but I mean, like...
No, the story is definitely not about the king.
Okay. Just wasn't sure if it said, like, the king of... whatever.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna make a joke.
Does this story to me sounds like the BS story about my dad passing and the way that he passed? Is that connected at all?
I mean, they might share thematic similarities. I mean, your father specifically didn't necessarily die trying to give his life for the king as much as he was in sort of a war zone, and there was already inherent danger surrounding that environment.
Yeah.
Attacks probably wouldn't have been that uncommon, and it's likely to assume he probably fended off a number of them before ultimately falling. So whether or not that story maintains consistency would more so probably depend on what you wanted to pull out of it in terms of the pieces.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he did not pass in that.
Right.
But I was just trying to see if this wasn't some sort of connection, because...
You could argue that there's a thematic similarity, sure. Yeah.
Only because all of our parents have stuff to do with the pillars. And Vir and Grable are presumably past this portal, who have a pillar and died protecting a king, and I wouldn't know, but it just makes me wonder if my dad wasn't a part of that at some point.
Sure. I'd say with your earlier history check and not having a lot of not having a lot of details in your father's story, and now knowing that most, if not all of it, is inherently false, I would say that just doesn't give you a lot to go on.
Yeah.
With my comprehend languages being up and Falconweave sounds familiar, I want to pull out the map.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of those falconries?
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me which one?
I think it's middle-ish left, if I remember correctly. I don't have the geography perfectly.
It's Falkenheim.
Or, sorry, it's Falkenheim then. My apologies.
Falkenheim.
Yes.
Oh, Falkenreef, that's your guys'
fucking
Skyrim.
Okay, that's why I was like, that makes
that's
me
where you
think
drop
of Skyrim.
Lydia off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Falkenheim.
We've been playing a lot of
Yeah.
Skyrim lately.
Yeah.
So Falkenheim, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
So it was saying that Falkenheim is their town?
Correct.
And this is what? Andala?
Yep.
This continent?
That continent.
And is King Erethan just the king of Esterlin?
He's the king of Apatia.
Oh.
So that would include the entirety of Esterlin, Andala, Lunavar, Fire Shield, and all of Kirin Sol.
And is our kingship through blood only?
I mean, you
Like,
would have
just-
very little insight into the noble workings
Would our kingship be like? Would that be like Letus's ancestor?
What is it you're asking me?
The king.
No.
The way that the king structure works.
Oh, like is it a like nepotism?
That word's too big for me.
For you or Hera?
Yeah.
For me right now.
Yeah, okay.
Like I know what it means, but not what it means.
Like
know
you
what I
have
mean?
to have, like if you don't produce a son as a king, the lineage passes on somewhere else. So like it only passes. It's like the Joffrey
Bloodline.
shit.
Yeah.
Is that how? Do I know how the
I would say,
Lordy?
having gone to Bard College, you need to have a certain level of refinement and knowledge of at least basic mechanics. Generally speaking, kingship would be passed to an heir. The king would elect to do so at a time that was fitting for the kingdom. There have been some isolated incidents where the king did not have an heir at the time of their death due to war or sickness. And in that case, there was sort of a council convened of the existing members of the royal court that would appoint a new king, and the bloodline would change if an heir could not be located.
So it wouldn't be the closest blood heir. It would be somebody else would be appointed.
It depends on the circumstances. If no appropriate bloodline heir existed, you would have known this to have only happened 2 or 3 times in the recorded history.
Did it happen to Erethan?
No, Erethan would have been a successor of a rather longer line.
It's been a hot minute.
All right.
Like literally been a hot minute. It's fucking hot.
Did you? And you were explaining all that out loud, right?
Uh-huh.
Walker's gonna go up to his room after that.
Do you get enough to eat? Never see.
Do you need help?
Literally never see Walker eat.
He was literally eating a taco right there.
Was he?
Yes, and you've seen him eat chicken drummies.
Have I?
Yeah, we
This
gave him
weird
a
ham mayonnaise concoction. I don't know what it is. It's
Gross.
we gave him a
think
pocket
he's
drummy
used to-
pocket. A pocket.
Oh
yeah,
shit,
you
that's
know.
right. I think he's used to finding grubs and like cutting them open and spreading that out like a
Ew.
weird
like a paste tube.
it's like a
Squeeze onto it. It's a cracker.
toothpaste of bug goop.
Ick.
Where you roll it when you're getting towards the end. Where you like scrape it against your sink to smush it out. It's like a grub. Like
Just
you take
like
the grub and
completely.
You know I have a thing.
just-
All right.
It's like a champagne cork of bud
Yeah.
guts.
Yeah.
All right, what is everybody doing?
I'm gonna go.
Walker awkwardly went up to his room.
Does anybody need to heal up before we rest?
I think getting a sleep will do trying for me.
I'll cast Mass Heal Wounds
Oh,
real quick.
whoa, wait. I was gonna. Shit,
You're gonna do your lore thing.
Yeah. Okay. What?
Walker's not missing any
Just
help.
do your lore thing.
Yeah, but what do you want me to find out?
I would like to know of. Really, the information we need to know is not where they've been or how they got there. I mean, that would help, but I mean, we need to know what they are now. I don't know if that's a thing that you can get. Anything that would help us on the journey there. Weaknesses, you know?
That's not a thing. I tried to do that for the Harbor of Souls, and
That's right.
it just
That's a
showed me how
elitist thing.
badass he was.
We don't. I don't know what information.
17, you two.
If you want me to focus on just that, I can try and use our initial exploration in there to just try to convey as much information as I can read about them to you.
I mean,
That
I think
would be
that would
super.
always be good, but
But it would be difficult to do so and fight at the same time. I would be dedicating my efforts in that regard.
yeah, no, we want you killing stuff. So we need to find out what they are.
Yeah. Their current, what kind of deal they made, what they turned into. So we always had some sort of idea of what we were facing, and all we know is that,
Well, it's either two,
or
Right,
it's a,
it's-
or it's a
right?
two.
And that's what whatever was Alita said. It sounded like joined back again or whatever. It sounded like they might be
Gross.
Like smushed up.
You said 17, right?
I mean, they were separated by death.
Right.
To say that they would rejoin could mean a number of things.
Right.
I kind of feel like it's like conjoined.
Yeah. So do I. Like at the Bible.
And I'm gonna just quick lay on hands me. For 15.
All right, what is everybody doing?
Waiting for the.
I just need to, at this point, I am so unfocused. I just.
Well, here's the story. Maybe that helps.
There's no fucking way I'm reading a book.
No, don't read it. Doesn't it help if you have something of them?
I mean, it's not a book made by them. Sure, I'll take the book. I'll put the incense on top of the book.
Cool.
What?
Guidance.
Okay. Thank you.
Cure wounds.
What would you like me to figure out?
Any idea of what they are?
Okay.
Now.
Okay. All right. I will
Or deal
light.
or whatever.
I'll blaze the sage.
Okay. And you were attempting to cast Legend Lore, correct?
Correct.
What are you bringing to this ritual?
Well, I have this book.
Okay.
I know that they're brothers. Veer and Grable.
Okay.
The brothers.
Correct.
I know that Veer died first protecting King Agafor of Fultonheim. I know that Grable made an arrangement, presumably the same arrangement that Padir made and the other people made.
Okay.
And I would like to know what Veer and Grable are now.
Okay. And then what specific information do you seek?
I don't know. What would I have seeked?
What are they now?
Yeah.
Just that?
Yes.
And then weakness? Is
Okay.
that a thing?
Sure. So,
I wish somebody else had fucking Legend Lore.
Well,
go ahead and
next
make
time.
a wisdom check for me.
Okay.
Wisdom.
With a D4.
Hey. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
You just
All
not-
right.
not have luck anymore.
Right.
All right. Okay. All right. Am I adding my wisdom?
Yes.
All right. 14.
14.
You have any more luck before bed?
Nope.
Or any inspirational
Can I
things?
inspire myself as well?
You have peerless skills, so
Yeah.
I suppose you could do that. Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
All right. 24.
Ooh.
That's a huge
That's way
difference.
better.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's
I'm pretty awesome. I think I'll rock this. I'll think
yeah. It's sort of like, all right, let's just do this thing, and you see the spell start to fail, and you're like, oh no, spring, focus.
Too much.
Yeah, and then as that quick jaunt and push forward focuses the arcane energy, you immediately see Sproigins' eyes turn completely black, and then your vision fills again with this sort of short, curly-haired human form. The hair comes down, turns into kind of a large Hercules, sort of Jason of the Argonauts type of beard, shaped out, wearing this cross-shaped toga, carrying this massive hammer. Give me one! All right, brother. Woo! And you see this sort of skinnier, scrawnier form with curly but more straightened sort of brown hair down to his shoulders, a bit of a Perseus vibe with a more regal-looking kind of blue clothing outfit that still looks inherently working class. And you see this orc flying through the air, and then this hammer immediately comes and swings through and just dents the head into the sort of entire neck region of this orc. That was a good one, Veer. Your fastball needs work, but your sinker is solid. Yes, all right. Come on, let's go. We have more work to do. And you see this sort of smoke wash across, and you immediately then see Veer casting spells molding the earth around him to block and shield Grable as he is swinging and destroying these monstrous-looking creatures running towards him. Grable seeming to almost enjoy this visceral sense of brutal combat as blood spurts up across his face, while Veer is casting these protective energy spells and folding earth around people and clamping multiple enemies at a time before these blood shoots spill out like a gusher inside a textbook.
What?
Ooh, vomit everywhere. As he's explaining that portion of the story.
Okay.
What kind of monster puts a gusher in a textbook, dude?
Someone who knows no better.
Yeah.
And as they continue to progress, you then sort of see them flash as they're destroying these monsters. A sort of puff of arcane smoke brings you to the two of them talking in a doorway. I don't like it. Just relax. I'll be back in 7 days. I've done this before. And besides, I'm sure you can find some locals to arm wrestle, right? You'll find I'll be back before you even know it. You won't even miss me, I promise, brother. All right. But if you get hurt, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yes, I'll be right back, I promise. And then you again shift, nighttime, dark blue sky of the deeply set sun, and all of a sudden arcane bolts of red and yellow careen towards a stagecoach seemingly being pulled by a half dozen horses. On top of the coach itself, several mages in robes seem to be slinging spells backwards before the earth itself kicks up, destroying and instantly separating some of the horses, and the coach itself flips and nearly explodes as the wood turns to tinder. You see Veer pop out, face covered in blood. All of a sudden, the arcane shields he's holding with his hands
Excuse me.
kind of drop down. All right then. And his entire body is surrounded in this blue arcane flame as you now sort of careen out and see just this vast sea of winged, red-skinned creatures resembling demonic forms. Cut back to Grable, who's now at a bar, drunk. Stumbles home, seemingly assaults and nearly murders someone on the street. Walks by a house that you once recognized as his just a moment ago, boarded up and nearly destroyed. And he falls to his knee in the street. Your vision swirls once again, and as he is now still on his knee, he rises up. And you see the surrounding is red brimstone, fire crackling and reflecting off of his face. I want him back. It wasn't fair. I should have been there. We could just be farmers. I just want him back. Just a simple life. No heroics. Just me and my brother. Tending to our animals together again. And you see this hand of crimson fire reach forward, place itself on the forehead of Grable before he lets out a searing scream. And immediately you hear Veer's voice, seemingly out of a sourceless void, somewhere you're unable to say, "Brother!" And immediately, vision blacks once again. And you now see what appears to be a humanoid form, fur draping down and dissipating onto the chest. A goat's head, holding a staff, sitting cross-legged and floating in the air. And Grable, presumably a massive boar sitting in a chair, arms twice as long as any great ape or creature you seem to have seen before, muscles, bulging claws now extended beyond his form. The boarish creature sort of speaks through the tusks, blocking most of his fangs, seemingly making it difficult to breathe out of his nose. I'm glad to have you back, brother. And the floating form just kind of looks back. And they both seem to transfix their gaze again as they move forward. The great boar creature almost with a shuffle, like a enraged bear, but moving slowly. The floating goat just continuing to gently levitate forward before you see a red-robed figure kneeling down, almost on all fours, but with hands tied behind their back. Head seemingly on a stone slab of sorts. The boar puts its hand in the back. Are you ready? Slams the face of now what appears to be a humanoid creature with dark black hair. Sort of the poofy, regal vestments, fine clothing. Grable seems to wave his fingers, and immediately a huge spire of earth pops out like a column. You see it stretch and elongate, and with a few flicks of the finger, you see it carve out almost this fin-like shape. Looks again at the boar of Grable.
Partner, this is what is right for you.
And the goat, still with no words, flicks his hand, and the fin flips over, and you see the head of whoever this creature was begin to roll forward. And your vision comes back to you sitting in the mansion.
Holy shit, did you get all that?
That sounds crazy.
On that note, actually, we would like to welcome our friends. Thank you so much, the Legends of Avantris.
Oh shit, I want to go there.
Welcome to you and your people. Thank you so much for joining
nice.
us. We are sort of in the deep middle of a very weird lore dump, so taking time to explain it to you might almost not help you at all. But thank you so much for being with us. Make sure you follow, please, and join us again next week when we pick up on our Friday session. But we are going to just get towards what we want to do here while you guys are still in the mansion. For the time being. Presumably you convey this information?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if there's a way for Legend, or because I don't think we've ever discussed that, but while I'm getting the images in Legend lore, can I kind of repeat them or kind of give a synopsis of what's going on
Sure.
in present time?
The information that you gain from the spell is almost feels more like knowledge. So when you remove yourself from the spell, it's almost something you can recite as something you'd previously studied.
Okay.
Or, so you feel familiar with the information now.
Okay. Oh, shit. Was any of the spells that he was casting in the vision anything that I've ever seen before?
I mean, it would seem maybe similar to the nature of some things you've seen from Skadi. But the articulation, the ease of use, it seemed almost is not something you'd remotely recognize. A number of times it seems he had a lot of semantic and verbal components that you were kind of able to pick out in the passing wash of these images. But towards the tail end, when you saw whoever this figure was be executed, it almost seemed like this sort of carnal source of magic emanating from within, control over one's domain entirely. Probably more powerful of an internal source than you've come across ever yet.
Yeah. Well, holy shit, okay.
Well, it gives us some information. One's a magic user, one's a brawler.
Yeah.
one's a floating goat.
Thank you for the help. This is not. I usually need you guys to give me a lot more assistance. And that was a lot of really great information just on these things, so.
Yeah. Especially because we didn't really know other than the basic story.
Yeah.
I guess we can tell Walker about it later.
Yeah. I can tell him about it because we'll both be up in 4 hours, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Is there anything anybody else wants to do, or should we just quick try to prepare and?
Yeah, I think I want to talk to Shannara real quick.
Okay. What would you like to say?
Hey. Shannara. I'm gonna make it real quick. Wow, I thought at some point I'd probably get better at this. So, once again, we're going into probably a pretty nasty, dangerous fight, and like I need my shoes and all that stuff. So like I don't want to. Please don't play any of the games. But if you can just watch out for my people, just like you, I think watched over my dad and hopefully my mom and maybe Akis too and Axme. Whatever. Just watch over my people, please.
Make a religion check at advantage.
Okay. Let's go Jack of Dice. Let's go natural 20 dice.
Okay.
22.
Ooh.
Okay. So,
Yeah, last time it rolled well. She took my shoes.
But are you still in the kitchen? Did you just do this right in front of us?
I thought
Yeah.
the presumption was you were kind of heading up and getting settled. Okay, so as you kind of shut the door, and you're almost more maybe mumbling it to yourself as you're kind of getting ready, not knowing how to formally pray in any kind of means or whatever else.
But also, it's not necessary for
Right.
me to do the we've got a cool.
So as you hear the door shut behind you, you again hear the. You turn around and the door is now open about 6 inches.
Yes. Pop my head out. Cool. Okay, close it.
So you're going about your business, turning around to get ready.
Okay, I'm gonna take off my shoe and throw it at the door.
So you take off your shoe, you throw it at the door. You're like finally getting yourself ready to put your things together, and you kind of fluff your pillow, and you're getting ready to lay down. As your head hits the pillow, your shoe is right here.
All right, I'm gonna quickly put it on.
Okay.
So I don't lose it.
And as you're kind of Sproigins, can I come in?
Who is it?
This is Shannara kind of peeking in with
kind of sounds like my mom a little bit.
the tied buns and the hair and kind of the golden drapery and the signature red dress.
Yes.
I didn't mean to bother you. You should keep that closed.
You're right.
I was thinking. You know how I like games.
Yeah, that's like your favorite thing.
Yeah, I see you have new shoes.
Yeah, I had to get.
That is very good. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Found new shoes.
Yeah.
Much harder feet than one would expect in the mountains. But then
Well,
you
the
would have
cold-
had very hard feet if you didn't find them in the mountains.
Right.
That's tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Just as well.
Please don't take them.
Well, I wouldn't just take them. I would play you for them.
I don't think I'm in. What do you have in mind?
Excellent. Call it. And you hear the spinning flip of a coin cutting through the air with the metal resonance.
Heads.
And she holds it on her hand. Heads, you say?
Heads. Heads. I'm sticking with heads because it's not gonna matter. Heads.
And as she kind of unfolds her hand, it's heads. Oh, you win after all. Well, this is a rare feat. I never lose.
I was gonna say tails.
Well, I suppose you've earned this. And you see her kind of conjure this arcane white thread that spreads out, and she sort of catches a pair of shoes. Yeah.
My original shoes?
Yeah. I guess they're a little big for me anyway. Sproigins, I do want the best for you. Do you know why?
No. Not even a clue at this point.
Well, I'm hopeful of what you can accomplish. And do you know why that is?
Even less.
It is because you have heart. And I think you too are hopeful. I'll leave a present for you. I'll just use the door if that's okay.
Yeah.
And then she leaves it open and seemingly disappears into the hallway. And that's where we're going to leave tonight's session. The lore dump there is that Sproigins' deity steals his shoes.
Yeah.
That's the entire thing.
Yeah. He used to give me some mustaches.
Yeah, definitely used to
do you
give
still have
you
your
some
mustache?
mustaches, but
Your mustache list now.
Yeah.
so
I'm gonna have to change your
before we go too crazy here, I got a lot of. We want to again thank Malahoy King and the Agent
you.
Rocket for joining the Action Junkies tonight. Iron for resubscribing. Sildari Belchavez.
J Double.
Yes.
Nancy?
Trying to. Oh, I think Dardoon's in
don't
there
know
with
who
the
took mine.
bits as well. Thank you
I'm gonna
guys
bring
so
them
much
all.
for
I
all
already
that
wrote it
wonderful
out.
support. J Double for just dominating the For Glory every single
Still?
opportunity. That's literally
it's
always
like-
going to be a thing, whether it's true or not. That is now his thing.
That's the thing.
Just like King Clancy could never answer a question again, and he's just going to be responsible for tearing
Yeah.
through chat.
Landella, that's my mom's name.
Yeah, that is a thing. So, with that
You
being
didn't know
the
that,
case,
but Clancy did.
thank you so much again for the raid. All of our
you.
wonderful guests. Again, if you can, follow. That's pretty easy. It's free. If you want to continue to come check us out, we are every Friday at 7 p.m. And as a reminder, we will be moving our normal stream schedule going forward on Saturdays to 5 p.m. So please join us there so you can actually get some rest on a Saturday. I don't know what we were thinking with that, but
I know. After D&D
That's the
until
thing. Yes.
however late, and then
we're
waking
so
up
dumb,
to try to.
and that's just how the world is. But beyond that, we're going to continue to spread the love. We're going to be jumping into Worry. Dual rear wheel.
That's like a wear jewelry.
Yes,
Wear jewelry.
weary. We're going to be continuing to spread the love and raid it forward, if you will. We're going to be going to check out some awesome stuff. Followers from the raid, thank you guys so much for sticking with it. We got Legends of Avantris.
Yeah.
Cool
Just sounds
fucking
awesome.
name. Ironing Board DM. I want to know the backstory.
Oh shit.
Great.
Super
Okay.
Punty.
Super what?
I think Super Punty.
Punt,
That
like
sounds-
punty,
Punty?
like
Or
a cross
P-O-N-T.
P-O-N. Or Punt.
Oh.
I like
All right.
it.
Super Punt.
All right.
Like DuPont, but like Super Punt.
Yeah.
Like, you're better than the dew, you're the soup.
Yeah.
That's a thing. And AdGuns4793, thank you for shooting those finger guns our way. Yes.
And for those people who came in during the raid, next Friday, it's kind of looking like we're about to have a boss fight. If you didn't pick up what we were saying.
Yeah, a definite boss fight.
Don't
say definite, because when we thought for sure we're having a major fight, we do a whole session of preparing for the fight.
My only job is to prepare for you guys to avoid everything I put in front of you. So, like, maybe we'll have a fucking boss fight, maybe we won't, because these people. But they are headed towards some very endgame level 20-ish type-ish. So,
and for those of you with XP, you should join us for the booms.
So that is a thing.
Yeah, also,
Thank you guys all so much for everything. It is so fantastic. Please continue to show that love on our social medias, everything at Holding Action. Use that Action Junkies hashtag, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow. Please remember to throw your 20s into chat, spread that love forward, and until we see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Party on.